Speed and fun, we have no fear. Puzzle pieces like a storm, shapes and edges we transform. Patterns forming under stress, speed puzzling at our best. Every second counts today. Focus sharp, don't drift away. Lost in pieces, we unite. Building worlds with all our might. Whispers humming in the air, laughing, dancing without care. From the chaos, order springs, puzzles solved in joyful flings. Pieces flying in the air, clock is ticking, no time to spare. Colors blend into the scene, solving puzzles like a dream. Hands are moving light and quick, got our tricks and perfect flicks. Every corner piece fits tight, speed puzzlers, we own the night. Puzzle mania fills the room, hearts racing, we feel the zoom. Victory is almost near, speed and fun, we have no fear. Puzzle pieces like a storm, shapes and edges we transform. Patterns forming under stress, speed puzzling at our best. Every second counts today. Focus sharp, don't drift away. Lost in pieces, we unite. Building worlds with all our might. Whispers humming in the air, laughing, dancing without care. From the chaos, order springs, puzzles solved in joyful flings. Pieces flying in the air, clock is ticking, no time to spare. Colors blend into the scene, solving puzzles like a dream. Hands are moving light and quick, got our tricks and perfect flicks. Every corner piece fits tight, speed puzzlers, we own the
Good morning, Michelle. I can hear you. Oh, hello. Well, thank you so much for inviting me back, Michelle. It's always a joy. I'm James from the United Kingdom Jigsaw Puzzle Association, and been along to a few of these co-hosting roles. I just was going to mention at the beginning of the thing that we've been quite busy in the UK JPA, as we're just setting up a championship in February, which everybody's welcome to come along to. It's on the 22nd of February in Cardiff, and we're going to be doing solos, pairs, and teams in the day. So please sign up for that if you're interested at all. There you go. That's my one bit of advertising I needed to do. So.
All right, that sounds fantastic. Yeah, can people on the live stream hear me now? Yeah, it looks like my microphone turned itself off in the back end, so it had to be reloaded. Yeah, no, that sounds exciting that there's 2 more competitions in the UK that have been planned, actually. Also, you have announced the dates for the UK Nationals.
Yeah, so Nationals will be in April, towards the end of April. Yeah, so that'd be great to see everybody. Anybody like to come along, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, no, that's very exciting. Yeah, so welcome to our viewers on YouTube. Yes, you can hear me now. Okay, that's great. And yeah, we want to do a special shout out to our participants who are from Portugal. They are actually right now still at the 24-hour championship, 24-hour marathon that started yesterday. It's still going. That's Lenka, Gabrielle, Carla, and Philippa. And so there's 2 pairs, but they're still at the 24 hours. So yeah, they've been puzzling all through the night. I'm sure they had a few hours sleep here and there, but probably just running on adrenaline and coffee now. So good on them. And yeah, a special welcome also to our 3 guest pairs from Australia. I did see an Australian t-shirt there, Melissa and Rihanna. Good morning. And somewhere we have the other pairs. We'll see them soon. Yeah, we don't show everybody at the moment. On the main screen, there's still 29 pairs that are not visible. But yeah, looks like it's we'll be ready to go in a few minutes. So I just want to remind everybody of the rules. You do have 2 puzzles there. We will unwrap both of them together, and then you have about 2 minutes to talk amongst your pair and decide which one you will do. You will only do one of them, but you are not going to immediately take them away and just leave one on the table, because I don't want it that when I say go, everybody's looking at the other screen and saying, oh, look, all the fast pairs are doing this puzzle, well, then we better do that puzzle as well. I really want you to think for yourselves what makes sense for your skills and your strengths. And yeah, this is part of the training for the worlds. This is the last pairs competition between the worlds. So you will unwrap them and you will talk about it, but you will leave both of your puzzles on the table. And then when I do the countdown, then one of them gets tossed to the side. And then you only, open up one of them to puzzle. So what do you think about this one, James?
Oh, I think it's so brilliant that you're doing this, because I mean, I think this is almost going to be like the absolute hot topic in the Dome in 3 weeks' time. You know, it's about puzzle choice, and I'm just fascinated to see what these look like and how people go. I've been doing quite a bit of just trying to choose, and I'm so bad at this. I think I've got
tricky.
idiosyncratic tastes in the puzzles I like to do, and then I don't. I think it's because I'm quite a focused, detailed person. I look at one area, and then I think, oh, I'd like to do it. Kasha says this to me. She says, Dad, you always go, you'd like to do that bit. And then I look at the rest of the puzzle and go, oh, God, I can't believe you've chosen that one.
Yeah, well, I was in the Puzzle Guzzle the other day. That's the online competition run by Graham, Jody, and Aaron, who are actually here today. So great to see them here. Yay. So they did this type of competition last week. They call it Pick Your Poison. So we also received 2 puzzles. It was a solo competition with 500 pieces. And on one picture, it was very dark and very grayish. It was a suitcase full of puppies. And then on the other one, it was bright and colorful, full of donuts with sprinkles and all types of sweet treats. And so I looked at the one with the puppies and I was like, no, it's too gray and shadowy. That's going to be the harder one. And it's fur, of course. And even my husband walked past and said, of course the donuts, you know. So I did the donuts, and actually I did the puppies afterwards, and the puppies was faster. So who knows? Everyone's going to find out. So I just want to remind everyone as well, we are using the new system for the done. So I see we have 80 pairs who are registered. So if not, everybody needs to have, if you haven't already, you do need to log into the timer website. Once you have logged in, you'll see your name with your pair and the timer says 3 hours. So that is the time limit today. You just need to place it somewhere on your table, somewhere in your view. After I do the countdown, you don't need to do anything. It automatically switches to 0 and starts counting up. So you will see the current time that has elapsed. And then when you are ready to finish, there will be a done button, and that's how you will record your done. Don't forget to leave your puzzle visible until it gets confirmed. I have to look at every puzzle to see that everybody has finished, and then once I have confirmed that, then it will say, yep, your result has been recorded, and you'll be able to see your immediate result, your immediate time, and your ranking. So yeah, when you're done, don't just immediately turn off your camera or change the camera angle. Keep it still visible. So it looks like we are ready to go. So everybody, you may unwrap your 2 puzzles. You may also remove any plastic wrap or plastic stickers that are on the boxes. Check that both of the lids come off easily.
Michelle, would you like to say what the puzzles are? Because I'm the only person who hasn't seen the puzzles. Like, I haven't got one with me.
Oh, yes. So we have, I'll also write the name in the chat. The first one is called The Puzzle of Dreams by Gibsons. I'll show it to the camera in a moment. The second one is called Welcome to Wales from Falcon.
Welcome to
Wales.
Wales.
So fitting with your theme of Cardiff.
Okay.
So we see lots of chatter and hands moving and pointing. So remember, you're going to pick the puzzle that you think will be the fastest, that your pair will be the fastest based on your skills, your preferences. One is more busy, one is more clean and has sky on it. Yeah, so remove any plastic that's on there. Make sure that the lids do come off easily, and then place both puzzles back on the table. Sarah, you need to have both puzzles on the table. Yes, everybody keeps both puzzles on the table, and only when I do the countdown, you may remove one. Okay, so everybody, Patrick should have 2 puzzles on the table. Lisa, Yana, everybody should have 2 puzzles on the table. Only when I do the countdown do you remove the puzzle that you do not want to do. The Falcon has, the Gibsons might have stickers on it. Make sure the stickers have been removed and that the lid comes off. Yeah, I see the Australians are still getting things ready. So yeah, different countries have different ways that they do online competitions. It might be that in Australia they always get the puzzles already pre-cut. Yes, so everybody has 2 puzzles on their table and are ready to go. When I do the countdown, you remove the puzzle that you don't want to do, and then you go ahead and puzzle the one you do want to do. All right, so I will start the countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So let's see what people have gone for. Look for.
Go. Aurelia and Dominic, go. You are doing 1 puzzle of 1,000 pieces. Good luck, everybody. Okay. I see a bit. I see some of both. I see both. Okay,
Yeah,
good
yeah, I
one.
definitely see some of both.
So let's have a close-up of the puzzles. So the first
Be very
one,
interesting to have in the chat just people putting their views on what they would go for.
yeah, definitely. If you're watching, let us know which ones that you would go for. So the first one is from the brand Falcon. This is actually a sub-brand of Jumbo, which is a Dutch brand. But they do a lot of British type images, and we have a collage of 6 paintings. We have Conway Castle, Tenby, Snowdon, Anglesey, Port Marion, and something else that is covered by the text, covered by the 1000. The artist is Ella Badsar. And yeah, so basically every image has sky on there. So maybe the sky lovers will go for this one. And it's easy to divide up because you have the 6 sections.
I think that's Cardiff in the bottom right. Looking at the picture.
It was meant to be.
Then Port Marion. I'm probably saying that wrongly.
Then we have Gibson's The Puzzle of Dreams. So a very busy puzzle, very text heavy. And this is basically a full of encouragement and affirmations by the artist Katie Abbey. So it's very similar to another puzzle by Gibson's called The Puzzle of Positivity. You have lots of little characters and they each have like little captions with them. Here you have a rainbow in the background and a gradient in the top. So you might see people, maybe some gradient lovers might choose this one, or people who really like text. Just an example of some of the characters. You have a peacock saying, express yourself unashamedly. Then we have a panda and a rainbow saying, you inspire me. Then we have a little elephant who's crying and saying, it's actually okay to be a little bit sad forever. So 2 very different puzzles, and it'll be interesting to see what people think.
Are all of the sentiments you've said so far are applicable to a pair puzzling together? Yeah. Oh, well, here we go. Come on, you said in the run into it that you did the puzzle guzzle, and you felt that you made bad decisions. I've stated that I make bad decisions. So I think that means that we're open to both say which one would go for, because it doesn't really it doesn't carry a lot of weight, as we're both into bad decisions. What would you go for, Michelle?
I'm just better at busy puzzles, so I assumed that the Puzzle of Dreams would be faster. So I have actually done these puzzles, but solo, just so I could have my own times and see what the difference was. I will reveal my times a bit later on, but immediately to me, I went for the busy puzzle and the more colourful one.
Yeah, I think the same. I think to look at, I think that's that. I really like the Falcon puzzle. I think those 6 paintings are really really lovely. I like how there's a sort of, the consistent style across them, and I think I've been to most of those places, and they really recognizable as what's on there. So I think that's a nice puzzle to look at, and it's got a few areas of detail like some of those red flowers, and it's got a lot of the frame, isn't it? I've noticed when we first did puzzles with Nikki and Pete Thomas, one of the things that they were very good at was not getting stuck in the puzzle when you've got lots of frame, but actually doing sorting out the frame and doing the individual 6 image frames. And that might be one of the things we see people doing. But that's I think I would be with you. I would go for the Puzzle of Dreams.
But we see Falcon puzzles here at the moment. Let's see. Well, Aaron and Sophie have gone, so they're from the UK, and they've gone for the Puzzle of Dreams. We also have Anna and Nubia. So at the moment, the way the system is set up, unfortunately, when there are pairs, the countries are not visible. So I'll only mention the countries if I know where somebody's from. I can't actually see that in my registration list, but that's one of the things we're going to fix up when we do the update. Because I also realized that last time with the 500-piece puzzle competition that I couldn't see where people are from. We also have Anna, Karin and Teresa, but I do know that they're from Sweden because they have puzzled together here before. We also have Anna Rupanen. I know that she's from Finland with Maya. Then we have Anna Rus and Florka from the Netherlands, and Aurelia and Dominic. So at the moment, I think we have well, I can't see what Anna Roos is doing, but definitely Aaron and Sophie and Anna and Nubia are doing the Puzzle of Dreams, and then Anna, Corinne and Teresa, Anna and Maya, and Aurelia and Dominic are doing the Falcon puzzle. Welcome to Wales.
Looking at the comments immediately in the chat, it looks like, I would say marginally, the Falcon puzzle is nudging it for people's choices, but there seems to be a lot of strong support for both of them and a little bit of dislike as well for the for not wanting to do that on as a speed one. But yeah, I think we might. I think we'll get some fast times today, though. I think there's no obvious sort of large areas of the difference, obviously, with the 500s to 1000s. You can so easily get stuck into having to shape sort with the thousands, but it doesn't look like there's any sort of any areas in either puzzle where I think you're going to be stuck with just repetitive color across a number of 20, 30, 40 pieces. They are. So I think we'll be. I think we'll see some fast times today, Michelle.
Yeah, we're going to have some fast pairs with us. I do want to say that this is actually not a realistic competition compared to the Worlds, because in the Worlds, if you do the pairs competition and you have to choose, it's a 500-piece puzzle, and the 1,000-piece puzzle for pairs, you don't have a choice. It's basically just given to you. But I did want to practice this again in a pairs competition, just because yeah, it is nice to have someone to talk to and to bounce ideas off and to say, well, hang on, I like, because you were drawn to different things. Like I find that sometimes I'm usually drawn to the foreground, whereas other people notice the background. And so to have that conversation is important.
I would definitely put more of a positive spin on it and say you've given people an awesome option today, and that they get both the chance to do a choice, and then they actually do get the opportunity to practice 1,000 pieces a pair, which is a rare thing in competition.
Yeah, and actually exactly. There's very few pairs competitions that there is at the Worlds, but most national competitions use a 500-piece puzzle. Yeah, and also some people are very fast. They might actually do the second puzzle later afterwards as well, and just to know for sure did they make the right choice or not. So on screen right now we have Ajalin and Franco from Argentina, Bibi and Anna from Denmark, Berger and Sabina from Germany, Carla. I know that one. It's one of the people from the. Oh yes, that's Carla. Carla and Gabriel. They are actually. You can see them. They're from Portugal, and they are at the 24-hour competition. So they've just got a table off to the side of the main hall. You can see there's a big banner in the background with the Portuguese Association on there. So good on them. I love this, to see how people, love their puzzling so much they're not going to give it up, even if they've already puzzled for.
Do we think they're on their break? Or I don't know how this, or whether they've been given allowance to actually include this puzzle in their marathon count?
Well, I know that for the 24-hour teams, the 24-hour puzzle teams, you have 4 people at a table, but you can have up to 8 participants. Yeah. So I think basically the 2 pairs, Carla and Gabriel and Lenka and Philippa, are on their break for the last 3 hours, and the other 4 will just have to keep on going. So now all 8 of them are puzzling to the end, non-stop. Good on them. We also have Catherine and Janine from USA and Germany, and Chiara from Italy, with Kati from Germany. So looking at the split here, Ajalin and Bibi, they've gone for the rainbow puzzle. Birgit has Falcon. Carla has the rainbow. Catherine and Chiara also have the Falcon. So here we're seeing, an even split, I would say. Yeah, so Chiara and Kathy have already done the one bit that I'd like to do in that puzzle, I think. That's true. Yeah, when I spilled out the pieces, there was this really nice water, as you can see it there on Kati and Chiara's screen. Yeah. One is this is very greenish bluish water. And it jumps out quite. It's because this color, the color palette on the puzzle the painting is a bit more dull, a bit more kind of earthy colors, and that green of the water really pops out. One part of it is the fountain from Port Merion, and the other part is the bay with some boats in it from Tenby. both with some reddish flowers on it. But yeah, making great progress at this stage.
I'm interested in the choice of brands because I have a thing with these two brands compared to Ravensburger. I always think of Gibsons as being marginally thicker pieces, and in my head, or the Falcons I've done before, I always feel it's just marginally thinner pieces in your hand when you're placing them and feeling them and sorting them. I actually quite like the Gibsons for speed puzzling. I like it because they produce a very sure fit and quite a chunky fit. So I'm interested to see how whether people find any difference to doing them in speed competitions. We've had a few Gibsons. We had for the Newmarket competition, they run Gibsons, and we ran a charity event recently with Gibsons puzzle. And I think I actually quite like them. I think they've got a nice sure fit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we also had a theme of the day. The question was about, hang on, let me find the question again. Obviously, it was about pairs and complementary skills. So we asked our participants if they wanted to answer the question of the day. When choosing a pairs partner, which skills are you looking for to complement you the best? So Aaron, who was on the screen earlier, he just says they have to be available and have low standards and tolerance of his nonsense. Then we had Anna Corinne, who says someone who has strengths where I am weak, and of course someone who is nice and I have fun with. And I think she's found that with Teresa, they often do pair, and then they often do solo competitions at the same table. So it looks like they live nearby each other, and then they will actually puzzle side by side, which is really fun. Anna Roos says that she likes to have a partner who is better at big sections of the same color. She prefers to do the detailed parts. So yeah, that's something that we're going to see. Yeah, because that's also interesting. We have one very busy puzzle here, and then something with a bit more of bigger sections. What do you do when you have one person of each? Who decides? Like how was it? How was the split with you and Kasha on that?
Who decides? Oh God, if we have a choice, I'm not allowed to decide. Kasha's actually sent messages to. So Kasha can't come to Worlds this year. So I've got a new partner who, and Kasha's been sending her messages saying, under no circumstances let Dad decide. He's terrible at deciding a fast puzzle. So yeah, no, it's a complete totalitarian state of. Kasha gets the choice, and we get on with it. And it's also the same actually for teams, that Kasha was our team chooser. So I mean, it was interesting because we're going to be talking to the Aussie All Stars. I was listening to their podcast. They said about how in the final in Worlds they hardly got to see the second puzzle because Rihanna moved it away so quickly. That we had the same thing as well. Kasha just instantly made the decision. So. Yes, no, so we have been. So Hannah will be making the decision in in Spain in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, so anyone who hasn't listened to, I really do recommend listening to the Peace Talks podcast with Rob Shields. He interviewed the Aussie All Stars recently, and it was really fun. Really, really great interview. Yeah, a bit different because normally he speaks to one person, but this time he spoke to four at the time. But they have a really great team synergy and a really, just a really fun team energy, you could say. So they will be as a team at the Worlds, but they're split into 3 pairs because they do live very far apart. So you have Rihanna and Melissa, who are up in Queensland, and the others, so for example Katrina and Christine, they're in Tasmania, and then Hannah and can't see Hannah in the registrations, but Hannah and her pair are actually in the in Victoria. So they are very widely split apart, and so that just made it harder for them to practice as pairs, but also as a team. So they have chosen local pairs who they will be participating with at Worlds. But anyway, it's a really fun podcast. And yeah, I also really like that story that they said that Rihanna, she's a project manager, she's the chief sorter, and so she's the one that gets to pick. And then at the time that it came that they had the 2 puzzles, which one did they choose first? Like it was just, the other one was just scooped away, and it's like, we're doing this one. All right, so on screen right now we have Kristen and Alexandra from Germany. Sorry, I just moved my screen away. Then we have Christina and her partner from Denmark. It's always a bit harder to find the pairs because they might be listed under the first or the second name, and I have everything listed alphabetically, but it might be under the second name. So yeah, Christina and Nina from Denmark. Then we have Donathan and Fanny. We have Elisa, F and Martina. Then we have Elisa S from Estonia. We have 3 Elisa, say it. So on this, the second Elisa is Elisa and Everly from Estonia. And then we have Eliska and Eva. And I believe they're from the Czech Republic. So also here another split. I see like 3 Puzzles of Dreams and 3 Welcome to Wales. Well, maybe it's a 4-2 split.
I think 4-2, yeah.
But yeah, I really like it. So we can see Elisa Zine. They've done a really detailed sort of the colors. So you have this nice rainbow spread. One has been working on the border. The other one is making piles based on the background colors, because you do have this really strong rainbow going across the title of the puzzle. So that's one way to look at it.
It's quite a nice sort of, even though it is a rainbow gradient, it's quite nice sort of bands of colors, and there's that strong pink, the strong green, and the strong purple there. So they're quite sortable for those background colors for that.
Yeah, and if you look at Donathan and Fanny's screen, you'll see that they've got a big sun. So in the top corner, you have a big sun with like a bluish purple background. The sun says, "Thank you for helping me to see the sun again." So yeah, it looks like people have got some nice building going on, many starting with the borders, others going for more of a sort. So I'll just switch up the screens again, see who else we have with us today.
I think we could spend probably most of the chat just talking about the phrases on the puzzle. Grow with the flow. Yeah, that's quite good. And wield your weird. Yeah. So we can see him. Not seeing a lot of board use at this stage, which is interesting. We tend to use quite a lot of boards for thousands.
All right, so on screen now we have Annie. So
that's quite a sort gone on there, isn't it? In the top.
Yeah, so we have in the top left, we have Fanny and Hannah. I believe they're from Hungary. And we have Fortini and Andreas from Cyprus. Freya and Tyra. Then we have Graham and Jodie from the UK. And Hannah from Finland with Rosa.
So looking, the top row look like they're on the dreams. I think so. Again, I think we're just nudging it with more people going for the Gibson's puzzle. Got Hannah. Yeah, Hannah is on the Falcon. So that seems to be very popular. The that little lake area with the red. That seems to be most people getting that in. They've filled in the top right nicely as well. Is that the? Oh no, I think that's the other way around. Oh no, so yeah, I think they've done the Cardiff scene, the bottom right, as Hannah. And there's quite a range of different sorting going on the screen there. Some are much more in piles than the others. It's, yeah, fascinating. So I'm not sure if Michelle, you're right, Michelle, have you gone quiet? Whether you lost your sound. Anyway, so yeah, so on the screen we've got quite a range of progress being made. And it's difficult really at the moment to judge which puzzle seems to be going in faster than the other. I think there seems to be more obvious sorting going on with the Gibson's puzzle, and I think that's usually the case with more of a gradient-based puzzle. But certainly there's some people making some strong progress, filling in big areas on the Falcon too.
Yeah. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I just had some technical issue we had to take care of. So yeah, I didn't mention this here. So I was up to Hannah and Rosa from Finland, and in the bottom right-hand corner, we have Ilona and Carola. Somebody said that they can't see the text because it's white, and it would be better if it be changed to black, and that's not something that we have control over. That is just part of Google Meet. So that's why we do make the effort to announce as many names as we can and do introduce everybody. Yeah, we have some really lovely rainbow spreads looking there. And yeah, at this stage it's still quite early to see which one might be the fast one, but we'll keep on moving. But yeah, I really like these rainbow spreads on the table, these piles of colours that are sorted out.
Yeah, that's quite appealing, isn't it? And there's a good little supporting mascot there as well, guarding the piles. Yeah.
Okay, so on screen now we have Inge and Alan from the Netherlands, and Inka and Nora from Finland. We also have Ayana and Michael. I think they're from Slovakia. Then we have Jenny and Maya from Finland, Jesse and Jan from Luxembourg, and Joanna and Alexandra from Poland. So it's quite interesting when we got a nice overhead view from Joanna, and one of them is been doing all the black text. So that's something that I only figured out towards the end of the puzzle, was that I can see it, but there's so much detail on that puzzle that I didn't really take it in. But towards the end, when I did the text towards the end, and I realized, oh, hang on, some of them have black backgrounds and some of them have white backgrounds. And so then it helped me just to focus on all the ones with the black backgrounds and to get those ones done. But that's really good that they noticed that detail from the beginning and started that.
I did wonder that, but I thought I was wondering, but then I actually thought there also are quite a lot of them. So there's about 12 with the black boxes. Yeah, but I can see that they're absolutely smashing that, aren't they?
Yeah. So we did receive the message that unfortunately Hannah can't join. She got delayed and won't be with her pairs partner for an hour. Don't know if Hannah can hear this, but we have a 3-hour competition. So even if you're an hour late, you're still welcome to join just for the fun of it, because you have the puzzle for the training. Maybe she's listening to it as she's driving to her pairs partner, but you're welcome to join in a bit later. That's no problem. We'd just be happy to have you. And you're probably so fast that you would still finish it within with time to spare. Yeah, so we have rainbows. Yeah, so I think that's a good choice for Inge and Alan, because they're very used to both having these busy puzzles in the Jan van Haasteren competitions, and yeah, this is busy. I mean, and they're used to that. They're used to a lot of detail, a lot going on, and just being able to focus in on the details. And yeah, so they're doing that pick and place method. So obviously drawing on their strengths. But yeah, it's very interesting. The 3 ones that we can see that are doing the rainbow puzzle right now, actually we have 4, but they're all doing different things. Inge and Alan Alan is starting at the top edge. She's working upside down and is doing that gradient from the top. We have Jana, who's working on the central text, the puzzle of dreams, and then Joanna's pair with the little text boxes everywhere. So quite an interesting way to... That's
fascinating, isn't it? It's so often when we watch the EJJ, you see a very repetitive way that people will, across all the different groups, will solve the puzzle. And that's fascinating to see it being done in so many different ways. because the Falcon one is being done in a fairly similar way from what I can see for most people. There's obviously things that are standing out to people much more in a much more sort of systematic way with the Falcon puzzle, whereas people are sort of getting whatever grabs them really with the Puzzle of Dreams.
Yeah, so we also have with us today Josiba and Erik, Karen and Farina, they're from Austria. We have Karina and Saskia from Germany, Katrina and Christine from Tasmania in Australia. Love the team shirts. We also have Kinga and Pavel from Poland, and Koops and Kolinski. That would be Katerina and Simona in the bottom right hand corner. Yeah.
Katrina's keeping her powder fairly dry by not letting us see past her ear. But oh yeah, no, they are doing the Puzzle of Dreams. It occasionally comes in and out of view. So, and they're using boards. So bit of chat about boards in the chat. A lot of people just saying they don't use them, or they like to use them towards the end. But seeing a little bit of board use now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, boards, I do tend to use boards for 1,000 piece puzzles just because there are so many pieces, and either for sorting or getting just things out of the way.
Yeah, so space management, they can be, especially if you're in a tight space with them, they can be very handy for just getting the noise down and getting some pieces either out the way or just working off to the side. Yeah, I don't know. Some people seem to like working on the boards as well. I'm fine doing that. And then we've got a new team, and it was interesting with the new team how some people talk about they just don't like working the puzzle off puzzle on a board. They only like to be doing it in the puzzle. So.
I'm actually quite surprised that Katrina has the Puzzle of Dreams, because in the interview they said that she really loves Sky.
Oh. Yeah.
So I honestly thought she would go straight away for the Wales puzzle, because there are 6 sections of Sky, but she also likes gradients, so maybe she was more attracted to the gradient in this one. And maybe her pair is a pro at busy puzzles and text. So it'll be interesting to see the decision making behind that. Yeah, so just getting back to the theme of the day, asking people what they look for in a pairs partner. Graham, who was on earlier, said he likes someone who can sort and doesn't mind puzzling upside down. It also helps if they live in the same house. So that's couple goals right there, that when your partner is also a speed puzzler.
That could be hazardous.
Then we had Alona. Alona says, I'm looking for someone who is equally competitive while still being laid back about it, so that we can agree easily on how to approach the jigsaw puzzle and who will take on which parts. After all, it's nice to have a good result, but I also want to enjoy the competition. I personally don't mind sorting the pieces or puzzling upside down, while I do not enjoy puzzling trees and plants too much. So it's nice to have a pair with somebody who complements this. And Jana says that she's happy to have someone who's just available on a given day and is best able to work on the edges. And I think that's a big point too. As you do speed puzzling, you will have multiple pairs, depending on who's available on that particular day. If it's a local competition, an online competition, you might have a different team for a different pair for nationals and a different pair for worlds, just depending on people's availability. So I think that's part of the fun. One of the fun parts is that you will get to pair up with multiple people throughout that time, and for different purposes. And sometimes it might be you really want someone who's really competitive and someone who has the same skill and ability level as you and really complements your skills, and other times you just want someone to have a good time with.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting how quite a lot of the answers are about sort of the interpersonal skills or the relationship between the other puzzler, rather than actually I'm dreadful at gradients, I need someone who can do Sky. Or it was so much of it was about team synergy, which or pair synergy. That definitely comes across. Yeah, that's fascinating. So we're at 30 minutes now. We've just gone past the half an hour mark. And I guess we should start to think about predictions for times. And whether we're going to see a sort of 45 minute. What do you think? I'm probably going to guess. I'm going to guess maybe a 45, 48 minutes, something like that.
Okay.
Let's have a little look.
Yeah, so on screen right now we have Leah and Laura. We have, we have two Leahs. So we have Leah Keysholm. Leah Keysholm is with Bibi. And then we also have Leah Weinreich with Laura. We have Lenka and Philip from Portugal from the 24-hour marathon there. We have Lydia and David and Lena, Beata and Rune. They are from Norway. And we have Lynn and Fabian from Germany.
I was just going back to see how far into the 24-hour puzzle marathon they are. Because I think it's heroic come what may. It's even more heroic if they're at like hour 20. Yeah, I can't see the original comment, but it'd be interesting to know when that finished. So it's been going since 10 a.m. Yes, no, I can see the comment now. Since yesterday 10 a.m. So, gosh, no, they are right at the end of it. Wow, that is quite something. I'm very impressed. That's proper hardcore puzzling, I think. Yes. Now I've just been having a little bit of a look around at some of the puzzlers. I think my did I say 48 minutes? I think that might be overly generous. I think we're going to be inside that. Some very fast puzzling going. Look across some of our known faster puzzlers, and again, there's a split across the two different puzzles as well. So the puzzle choice thing, be interesting to see how that stacks up when we look at our final top 10. I think it's going to be reasonable. I mean, I think it'll be a reasonable split of the two puzzles in the final top 10. I'm just wondering which ones have the easier end game to them. I get the feeling with the Welsh one, there's a bit more areas of sort of indistinct stuff. Whereas I've got a feeling with the Puzzle of Dreams, I think you just can keep on placing in there, because you're either going to be placing on the gradient in the background or finding little details on each individual piece. So I think Puzzle of Dreams will finish faster, would be my guess, looking at the two. But there are some fast teams making amazing progress.
Yes. So Maria Schwartz and Karen Schwartz, your camera is off. Please check that, please. So with us, we also have Lisa and Rachel from Denmark, Marta and Martina from the Netherlands, Magdalena and Diana from Germany, Maggie Magdalena, and she's from Austria. I just can't see her partner at the moment. Barbara. So Magdalena and Barbara from Austria. Then we have Mandy and Jan from the Netherlands. Oh yes, Maria and Karen, I can see your camera now. Thank you very much. So yeah, here we have 1, 2, 4 Puzzle of Dreams, 2 Falcons. But yeah, Marcia and Martina are making fantastic progress. So yes, I did expect the Duchies to go for the more busier puzzle.
Yeah. Be interesting at the end to know what maybe when we put we'll be able to see that information, what the choice ratio was. I mean, I guess we'll get a feel. What are you thinking? I'm thinking probably slightly more have gone for Puzzle of Dreams. Screen by screen, we either see even or just slightly in favour of Puzzle of Dreams. I don't think we've seen a screen where we've had more people doing the Falcon puzzle.
Yeah, so it might be slightly in favor of Puzzle of Dreams. On
Mm.
screen right now, we have Maria TB and Marina from Sweden. Then we have Marie and Thomas from Norway. Martia and Celia. I think they're also from Norway. Melissa and Rihanna from Australia. Mia and Taru. And then Michael and Carolyn from Germany. So Michael and Carolyn, so Carolyn is on our team and she's our sky specialist and she usually works upside down. So I see her also doing that. She loves gradients. So that might be the reason why she chose this puzzle. But she is used to working upside down and yeah, you definitely have this really lovely gradient towards the top. So that might be where she is focusing on. And Melissa said in her answer that she likes to have someone who's good at,
Yes.
at busy puzzles. So it looks like Rihanna is bringing the busy game today.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're making fantastic progress.
I think from the podcast, I think Melissa said she was like their sort of subject, their bigger sort of subject matter type solver. So if there's something like a big dog or something like that in the middle, she likes to just focus on a big thing in the middle of the puzzle, and then likes other people to do the other things around. Yeah. So,
yeah, so I've just switched up the screens again. We have now on screen Minna and Alina. Then we have Mooney and Sass from Germany. Nana and Christina from Denmark. Natasha and Lisa, I think they're from Austria. Olivia and Astrid from Denmark, and Patrick and Stefan from Switzerland. So yeah, we can see 4 Puzzle of Dreams, 2 Falcons. A really nice view there on Patrick's setup and also on Mooney's. Yeah, Minna has also made great progress on the gradient parts of the Puzzle of Dreams. You can see these little holes where the text captions go. But yeah, a really nice chunk that's built together. And you can see like a bit of a rainbow. You can see on Patrick's, this kind of pink of the rainbow has been done above the Puzzle of Dreams.
So that's another way of solving it, isn't it? Actually, someone's pulled all the words out and then done it as a gradient puzzle and then fill the words in. That, I mean, I know that there definitely are people who are quite sort of anti doing the words. I know within sort of personal contacts that that we have quite a big dyslexic community within the broader puzzling community who really hate puzzles with words, and will leave words to their partner or leave words right out of it, or just hate puzzles with words.
Oh, that's an interesting point. I haven't really thought about that. But yeah, for some people, just words just might be too distracting, and yeah, like they might not just be able to like see what they're actually puzzling, like to be able to recognize what the letters are. Like when I pick up a piece, like I need to know what am I actually looking at. Like I will look at the words, and I will even if it's just like one sentence on a puzzle, I will read the sentence back and forth, like over and over to myself until I can find where that piece fits. But for some people, if text is not their strength, it's yeah, it can be quite an obstacle.
Yeah, I think it's specific. I mean, I think puzzling is specifically drawn quite a lot of people with dyslexia for that very reason, that it's a puzzle solving activity that often does not involve words, and so they can specifically get tripped up when they get to a wordy section. And then I think there are people who are, it's almost like a little highlight for them. I know certainly when we've been doing those 100-piece puzzle moments ones, any of the ones with words, I'm just immediately drawn to the words. You know, you just you want to put the words in straight away. It's like a little gift. But I think for some people, it's absolutely the other end of the spectrum. It's a nemesis.
Yeah. So we have on screen now Paulina and Dominica. Then we have Karina. Sorry, sometimes there's a beep in the background. It's when I'm trying to search for a particular name and I type something wrong, then it makes this beep sound. So we have Karina and Jonas, then we have Rafael and Ramona, Sabina and Eliza, Sarah, I think that's with, yes, she's with Salma, and then we have Sarah and Emma. So here 4-2 in favor of the Puzzle of Dreams. And I just want to mention Olivia and Astrid in the previous screens, they did the Falcon and they were making really good progress with that. There was a bit of a reflection, so I couldn't see exactly on which section they were working on, but I could just see that there was some larger sections that had been assembled attached to the border, so they were making really good progress. So here, lots of borders. Yeah, we can see with Sabina that she's got lots of islands, so they've picked out certain sections of the Falcon puzzle, not attached yet, not in any particular order, but has got some sizable sections done. That's looking really good. I'm going to keep moving because I know we have some really fast pairs towards the end of the alphabet, but looking really great so far.
What's quite nice now is almost everybody has done the letters that say Puzzle of Dreams. So it's quite helpful for us now looking at the puzzles to immediately work out that people are doing the Puzzle of
Dreams.
Dreams.
Is it a Puzzle of Dream or is it
you
not?
All puzzlers are doing that. It's made it a little bit easier to spot your puzzle.
Yeah. So now we have on screen Susanna and Tobias from Germany. Then we have another Susanna and Joan. Then Taya and Maria, Teresa and Marketa, Teresa and Peter, and Toby and Steffi. So we can see Teresa and Marketa have done amazing progress. So they're over halfway on the Puzzle of Dreams. Teresa's working upside down there. Yeah, but most of the top gradient is done in that rainbow, and then it's about all these little characters and all these little speech bubbles. Yeah, Taya and Maria, your screen is frozen. Can you check that, please? Taya and Maria, your screen is frozen.
The thing with doing the Puzzle of Dreams, if you're doing it upside down, is you're probably not going to be doing the words, are you? That would be harsh if your partner said, yeah, you're upside down and you're doing the words. Yeah.
Okay, Taya and Maria, we see you now. Thank you. Okay, but yeah, no, looking fantastic there. Definitely Teresa and Marketa have made amazing progress on that one. But we also see the others have got most of borders and some good islands. Susanna and Tobias have also got some nice buildings and sections of water done. So looking really good there.
I'm interested in looking at Teresa and Marketa, how they have their pieces. They have pieces all around their puzzle. So commonly people will do a puzzle to one side. They sometimes have pieces in front, but they have got pieces placed on all four sides of their puzzle, which I think, I don't often see. Yeah. Fascinating. That's too many places to look. But proof's in the pudding. They are exceptionally good. So whatever works. What are we up to now? 43 minutes. 44. Yeah, okay.
So we've reached the end of the alphabet. We now have Valentina. She's from Belgium and she's with Clearly. We also have Vicky and Laura from Hungary, Veroni and Irma from Switzerland, and Vivka and Leanne. So here, more in favor of the Puzzle of Dreams.
Yeah, I definitely think it's nudging it.
Yeah, I did also expect Vicky to go for the Puzzle of Dreams because she loves pick and place and busy puzzles. That's really her strength. So she's, you can see even she's got some pieces, she even knows exactly where they are. They've got a little bit of text on them. And even though she hasn't even got the full speech bubble, she's just got a single piece located roughly where it belongs. And then she kind of joins all the pieces together. But she likes to only touch a piece once if possible. She picks it up, holds it up to the box, finds exactly where it is and places it exactly where it belongs, and doesn't have too much of a discard pile or not able to find that. So I'm going to go back and find Kati and Kiara, and we'll see who's in the running for the top 10.
Yeah. I'd say there's quite a few teams who've got sort of 50 to 100 pieces left. I think this is going to be close.
Yeah, so on screen right now, I have Teresa and Marketa, Vicky and Laura, Kati and Kiara, Inga and Alan, Hannah and Rosa, Marcia and Martina. So yeah, all well over 50%, looking more like 2/3, 3/4 of the way done. And here as well, we have 4 Puzzle of Dreams and 2 Welcome to Wales. So here you can also see different ways that they puzzle. So most of the pairs, one of them is working upside down, whereas Kiara and Kati, they've got their puzzle sideways, that they're both working, in that kind of half diagonal direction. So neither is working completely upside down.
Yeah. But I've been playing around with trying to do that. I think for the space management, that's much better. You've got more room to work your pieces, but it does involve turning your brain around a little bit. I think there's also got advantages if you've got one person who's not great at being upside down with the image, or if both people need to look at the image, you can do exactly what Kiara and Katy are doing, which is you've got the orientation of the box to the side of them in the correct orientation to how the puzzle is. So you've both got a sort of side view of your side view, if that makes sense. Sort of, yeah. So you only each having to rotate your brains 90 degrees. But I think it is interesting with puzzlers about how I think you quite rapidly go away from seeing the image as the image. You just see it as colours and shapes and puzzle pieces. So I think that's that's helpful. But I know some people just absolutely have to be the right way up. Inga and Ellen are smashing it very quickly, getting through. It's difficult to see who's got the fewest pieces remaining on the table. I'm not sure if Inga and Ellen have got some pieces on the far side there, but they do not look like they've got many pieces in front of them. And Teresa and Marketa are also down to probably the last, certainly the last 30, 40 pieces, I would have thought.
Yeah, so I've just added my times to the chat. So I did both of these puzzles solo, so I would have an idea too as to which one would be faster. So I had guessed that for me, Puzzle of Dreams would be faster because I'm better at busy puzzles. My solo time was 2 hours and 11 minutes. And the Welcome to Wales puzzle took me 2 hours and 32 minutes. So 21 minutes longer for the Wales puzzle. And I think it's because I got caught up on the sky, or stumbled on the sky. There are, what I like about the Wales puzzle is that you do have these 6 sections. You have like some big text sections, and you have these clearly defined borders between the 6 images. However, a few of the skies look quite similar. There are differences. Some of them are a bit more like with a sunset with a bit more of a golden glow. Others are a bit more like a bright blue, but there were just some pieces that I couldn't tell which one it was. And basically the clouds could be from any of the images. And I did kind of find myself, just taking extra time to finish off those sky sections. But yeah, we'll be interested to see how that plays out for the other pairs.
Yeah, it looks like we're approaching the end game here. I think we've got some very fast hands, putting those last final few pieces in. For both Inga and Ellen and Teresa and Marketa. I think we are getting there, but I'm still wouldn't like to call it. I think it's going to be very close.
Yeah, so could be Inga and Alan.
Yeah, I know.
They've just got their green pieces left. Oh, they've just got background pieces, just like 15 pieces to go. Oh, yeah. Go.
It's looking like they're going to just pit them.
Go, Inga and Alan.
Well, I think it's going to be proper close, Michelle.
But yeah, and then coming up just 1 or 2 minutes behind will be Teresa.
Yeah, here we go.
And Melissa looking really strong there.
We're the hands looking speeded up type.
This is, and we go.
There we go. Fantastic. 50,
yes,
42.
Finished. Yes, done. Wow. 50 minutes and 58 seconds. Congratulations, Inga and Alan.
48 wasn't a far off guess until I second guessed myself. Well done, Inga and Alan.
Yes.
And a proper high 10 from the both of them.
Fantastic. So, and they did Puzzle of Dreams, but that was really playing to their strengths.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have Teresa and Marquetta in fairly soon. They've probably got about 20 pieces left to go in. But that was so fast at the end. Very impressive. The last few pieces going.
Yeah, fantastic. So I just want to point out Hannah has arrived and she's with her pair. Welcome, Hannah. We're really happy to have you there. Yes, just go for it. Don't worry. Just have fun. We're all rooting for you. So have a blast. And by the way, they've chosen the Puzzle of Dreams.
And when we get to the chat later on, maybe Hannah can just have her mic on, and then we can, if she wants to chat. I know some people just can't do that, and they just have to puzzle. And she may want to take it as an opportunity, but also equally, if she wanted to leave her mic on, that would be great when we're chatting to your colleagues.
Well, we can interview each pair as they finish, so that's no problem. Yeah. So looks like Melissa and Rihanna are coming into the close, and then we can chat with Katrina and Christine later on.
Okay, brilliant.
Okay, so yeah, so Marquetta, it's going to be close. Marquetta and Teresa, and not far behind are Melissa and Rihanna. Very exciting.
Yeah, this is...
Yeah, so it looks like the greens are the background. That's the same greens that...
Yep. I saw quite a few people doing them to one side earlier on. Yeah, and here we go. Fantastic. These are such insane times for 1,000-piece puzzles. I remember like 4 years ago, 52 minutes was a sort of like okay pairs puzzle time.
Fantastic. So their time was 53 minutes and 2 seconds. Well done.
Brilliant. Well done. That's fantastic.
Yeah, well, we do have the best pairs in the world with us today. Really exciting. Might be a preview of what we can expect.
Yeah, and again, I was watching this with solos. I was watching solos are doing times now that pairs would have been happy with a few years ago, and now we've got pairs doing 1,000-piece puzzles in times that 500s would have been okay. It's amazing how things have leaped forward. So we've got. I think it's looking like Melissa and Rihanna are on to the last few pieces. Marcia's not far behind. And I think we were right. There we go. Melissa and Rihanna are finished.
Yes, well done, Melissa and Rihanna, third place. Congratulations.
Well done. Brilliant. Good stuff. And it's interesting. I think what we said earlier on was right, that it does look like the Cardiff, the Wales puzzle is a slower finishing puzzle. I think it is, you're left just with a lot of quite tricky pieces just in the small areas there at the end. So I think that's looking harder to finish off. Well, we've just got the just got the coach appeared in the background in the shot on Melissa and Rihanna's. The coach of legend who we've heard so much about over the last month or so. There we go. We might need the coach's view as well. The what the top tips were and what the work-ons are, I think is the phrase. Is that right?
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll wait for the top 10 to finish, and then we'll have a chat with Inga and Alan if they're available, and then we can also chat with Melissa and Rihanna a bit later on. So if you want to have a break, you can listen to the live stream and maybe even do the second puzzle in the background. Why not? Go for it. We'll get to you. You have a bit of time. We'll get to you a bit later. So coming up to the finish, we have Martia and Martine looking fantastic, just popping in those last pieces. Yes, and Martia and Martina finish with Puzzle of Dreams. Congratulations.
Well done. So we've gone Puzzle of Dreams, Puzzle of Dreams, Puzzle of Dreams. There was a prediction that the Falcon would be the fastest time, but
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, a few people thought that the Falcons would be faster. Yeah. So now we have the next two that are going to finish. Looks like Kiara and Kati and Hannah and Rosa, they both have the Falcon puzzle. And they look like they have fairly the same amount of pieces left. It's interesting that Kiara has her pieces on a white background so that she can see those pieces a bit easier. The others tend to blend in onto Hannah's table a bit more. Kind of a lot of these brownish greenish pieces. But we also see great progress from Vicky and Laura. And yeah, exciting to see Lenka and Philippa still have energy left to puzzle after almost a day of puzzling. We also have Karen and Farina looking really strong there on the Wales puzzle. Most of the sections are done. I did actually expect them to do that because they both grew up doing typical Ravensburger with lots of sky and landscapes. So that also plays to their strength. And Olivia and Astrid are also looking really strong there on their Falcon puzzle.
It's going to be fascinating to see what time the fastest Falcon is going to be. You know, you've got some of the strongest puzzlers in the world on this competition today. And I think it highlights the issue that everyone's going to be having in a few weeks' time about the importance of good decisions in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, so I also have Aaron and Sophie on screen, and they're doing a really great job there on the Puzzle of Dreams. So they've actually done all the text. They have all the text bubbles done, and now they're focusing in on the background. So that's another way to do it. Do the foreground first and then fill in the background later. It looks like most of the other pairs tended to do the backgrounds and then do the text towards the end.
This is a good test to see who you'd want proofreading your curriculum vitae. Is you get them to do this puzzle and... So where do we think we are for our next?
Yeah, so it's a race between Hannah and Rosa and Kiara and Kati.
Yeah, that's looking probably down to the last. I think if those are only on, if they've only got pieces on this side of us, I think I'd say Hannah and Rosa are just ahead on piece count. Just trying to see which areas of the puzzle they're working in. Is it the Portmeirion at the front? The last few pieces in the sky there, and top left, bottom top left corner for Kiara and Kathy. So both actually on slightly different spots, I think. Some gaps in the top right.
I think Hannah and Rosa have the edge on this one.
Yeah, I think they're going to take it.
I think you're going to go for it. So we're looking at position 5.
We've got 30 seconds before we get to the hour. So is that right? Or are we at the hour now? Let's see.
Yeah, coming up to the hour mark.
Oh, I'm sorry, I glanced at the screen, at the live stream. So.
And Hannah and Rosa have got it. Well done. 5th place with a time of 59 minutes and 59 seconds.
Well done. Gosh, that's cutting the hour fine, isn't
Yeah.
it? Do you want to do any fractions of seconds on that, Michelle?
Well, our new system gives us milliseconds as well. So it's 59 minutes, 59 seconds, and 0.5.
Oh.
So if we ever get it that somebody finishes in the same second, we will be able to see who was like slightly there ahead.
Brilliant. Oh, Hannah's saying they have one piece missing.
Yeah, so looking at and so now it's a race between Vicky and Laura and Kati and Kiara. Both have a very similar pieces left, working on different puzzles, but they're racing for the 6th spot here, just over the hour mark. It's going to be really close.
Yeah. I think Kati and Kiara might just have it.
Yes. Well done, Kati and Kiara.
Yeah.
And a few seconds later, Vicky and Laura.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so they were 6 seconds later. Looking really great there. Yeah, so that was the first wave of finishes. So first was Inga and Alan at 50 minutes. Then we had Marketa and Teresa, Brianna and Melissa, Marcia and Martina, Rosa and Hannah, Chiara and Kati, and Laura and Vicky. And of those, we had Puzzle of Dreams 1, 2, 3, 4. So the top 4 were all Puzzle of Dreams.
Yeah, we've got two. Is it 2 falcons so far?
Yes. Now we have the next group of puzzlers coming in. So Karen and Verena, Sarah and Selma, Patrick and Stefan, Olivia and Astrid, all looking really strong there. And also Graham and Jody have done a lot of the background there. Now they've got a lot of like small holes to fill in, but doing a great job there on the Puzzle of Dreams. And also Freya and her partner also making great progress there.
I'm just going to have a quick. So Hannah and her partner look like they're off to a good start. They've got their frame in. Yeah, I think it certainly looks like when it comes to the finish that people are getting the Puzzle of Dreams more continuously, hands moving fast, less sort of contemplation of pieces and working out where they go. Just sort of smashing the pieces in a bit more quickly. It's an interesting one about choosing for teams. We were talking about this about, I think that they're trying to avoid very dark puzzles, trying to avoid ones with significant areas of where you have to shape sort. But just having something that you as a team can just continuously work on all the way through. And I think the Puzzle of Dreams one feels like that. It just feels like that's one of the puzzles that you get to the end of and you think, well, I was doing something all the time with it.
Yeah, so that's probably going to be my key criteria when it comes to the teams puzzles about which one that I choose, is that when I look at a puzzle to think how much of this will I have to shape sort.
Yeah, question number 1. What's question number 2?
Yeah,
then?
because often you look at it, because before it was like, how colorful is the puzzle? But then we saw that with the Magnificent Gardens last year, that sometimes you would have a very colourful puzzle with a huge section of red flowers. But then in the end, you can only shape sort those red flowers. There's nothing else to go by. So not only would you be shape sorting the sky, but also the red flowers and the grass and the trees. And that really, made some teams stumble. I mean, the fastest teams still got there anyway, but that is a section that does slow down. Whereas the puzzle that Karen's team chose, the one of this vampire's castle, it looked very dark, and immediately a lot of people dismissed it because it was dark. But then there were so many details that in the end there were very few patches that had to be shape sorted, and I think that really gave them the edge in the end.
Yeah, we did that puzzle. We chose that puzzle in that heat, and it was you could keep going with it. It had a few little tricky areas, but you were never in the God, we're going to do that stage.
So you did the vampire's castle.
We did do the castle one. That was good. That was a good puzzle. I like that puzzle. But and again, it happened again with the year before, didn't it? With the Orange City illustrated view, where people have done the blue one in the round before, and there wasn't much shape sorting in that. And then the orange one actually had those big blank areas of just the same coloured orange in the background. And again, that was sort of just one of those choices where I think you just properly have to look at the puzzle, stare at the puzzle and go, how much shape sorting is there in this?
Yeah.
Because I think shape sorting I think with 4 people is also really hard to do. We find it hard enough with 2. With 4, you almost just need your team just doing that, and some people sort of keeping out of the way, because you can end up getting in each other's way if you've got too many people working on shape sorting.
Yeah, I think I'll call in Ellen and Inga to chat with us now, because we do have like the next group coming up, but they will need a few more minutes before we see another finish. So yeah, I think this will be a good opportunity to chat with Inga and Ellen. If you're there, I'll find you.
Yay.
I'll just put your camera on. Yes, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, congratulations. And tell us, what was your reaction when you saw the puzzles come out?
I think I'm the one who has to choose mostly. So the second we opened it, I thought, oh, it's a collage. We need to pick that. And then I thought like 10 seconds more, and I thought, oh, it's painted. Paintings are always harder than they look. And then we just looked at the 6 sections of skies on the Falcon puzzle, and we thought, well, they might not be that distinguishable, so it might not be an easy collage. And then we, gave the other one a better look, and we thought, hey, that might be exactly our cup of tea, with a nice gradient in the background and lots of small sections. So I'm glad we picked that in the end.
Yeah, Nella is very good at gradients, and she really likes busy puzzles when there are like 6 to 8 pieces for each element on the busy puzzle, which this puzzle had going, and I puzzled all the characters, and she just did the gradients, but it worked out well, I think.
Definitely.
It almost starts off with the process of what you don't like. You look at the puzzle, go, oh, I don't fancy that.
Yeah, we were thinking like they looked sort of instinct. They looked similar, right? It was like, oh, which one would be easier? But then you start. I mean, we've learned the hard way that painting style puzzles are always much harder than we expect. So this wasn't too much painted, but just in general, it's like, oh, we don't like this illustration style.
It just always makes it harder, because it's just not as logical. Like when you're puzzling a picture, you know what it's gonna look like, and when it's painted, it's all just a little bit off, and it always makes me at least misjudge how hard a puzzle is. And we had that, like Inge said, we learned the hard way. Like I remember picking a puzzle and thinking this will be easy, and then, oh my God, this is like horrible.
And
why didn't we see that?
Can I just ask them what training you've been going through for choosing puzzles? Have you been doing any specific training leading into worlds with thinking about?
Yeah, we've been doing it for pairs as well, and for teams. We had a stack of puzzles that we were going to do together anyway, and we both predicted on our own what we thought the order of speed would be. Then we did the puzzles and then figured out, and it's a bit better in figuring out which one we need to do. So we trust Alice judgment in teams definitely.
Yeah.
But I never get to do the strategy. Like Inge decides how to put the box and what to do, and because I don't have any overview on that. So
Yeah.
Sorry,
So-
I just want to say, Inga, could you just change, move the the laptop a bit closer towards you, because we can hear Ellen really strongly, and then you're kind of fading into the background. So maybe the
But I'm the laptop.
is the microphone maybe more towards Ellen? Okay.
I don't know. I'll talk a bit louder.
Okay. Now it's good. Yeah.
It's quite directional, isn't it? So I think we got most of that. So you basically had a load of puzzles. You had to sort of put a hierarchy of how fast they were, and then you did them, and you compared how you got on. So how were your predictions? How did you go? Were your predictions that you made, was that right? Were you able to beforehand choose the right order for the puzzles?
Mostly, I think usually like you can tell very easily that one is much harder than the others and some are much easier than the others, but sometimes there are a couple that are very close together, but then it also doesn't really matter if you choose the wrong one. So I think in general we are both pretty good at estimating but I really like this format because I wanted to see how we would do that in a competition setting. Yeah, because it's different. You don't have much time. Last year at Worlds in the teams round, we definitely chose the wrong puzzle. So
Which ones did you have? Which ones were in your heats? Which ones did you go for that you felt were the wrong choices?
Team C, so the easy round. So we had the Volkswagen van.
no-brainer.
Yeah, and then what was this New York skyline? The houses in France and like with Germany, Deutschland collection.
Oh yeah, that looks horrible. And it was. We did it later.
So like the Germany one was easy, no-brainer, and then the van was an easy one to do. And then we were discussing the other two, and we were like, these houses are very colorful, they look great, but
It's
then
busy.
yes, but we had the same problem as the people with that the colors are not defined on the puzzle as they are on the box. So it was just 400 pieces of gray houses, and it was awful.
Oh.
So we didn't pick the skyline because I said, well, okay, that's 200 pieces of gray that we need to shape sort. But then in the other puzzle ended up being 400 pieces of gray we needed to shape sort. So it was a disaster.
The thing with teams is you're just hoping that if there's something like that happens, that there's somebody on your team who suddenly proves to be really excellent at that.
Yeah.
What about doing 1,000 pieces as pairs? This is a sort of rare opportunity, isn't it? Doing practice for 1,000 pieces. So do you like 1,000 pieces for pairs?
We've been practicing them because we needed to. Our space management, especially at Europeans, for example, was very bad. So we've really been working on it. I do like 1,000 pieces, but always when you've done 500 pieces and then you do a 1,000 piece, then you're like, oh my God, it's so many pieces. It was the first thing we said when we did the puzzles, like, what? All these pieces. Yeah, but I like it.
Yeah, we do 2,000 piece puzzles a week together, I think. So.
Wow.
Sorry, I just need to interrupt briefly. We just had another finish. We had Olivia and Astrid taking out 8th place, Patrick and Stefan taking out 9th. Running in 10th place, it could be Graham and Jody, it could be Sarah and Selma, it could be Karen and Verena. So go, go, go. Top 10 spot is waiting for you.
Oh, that's exciting. And it looks like they're all on the puzzle of dreams. Is that right?
No, Karen and Verena have the Wales puzzle.
Oh, yeah, they're the Wales puzzle. Right.
And it's Graham and Jody taking out top 10. Fantastic.
Fantastic. Oh, they'll be so chuffed.
Awesome. Yeah, so Inga and Ellen, last year you had different pairs. What was the decision-making process to join up as a pair this year?
It was kind of a hard decision. We figured we could do very well together, but we also felt a bit bad for our old pairs partners to drop them. So we asked politely.
But also kind of said, please, I mean, I really, really want to do this. So
and we did the same with the team, of course. So we kind of ditched all our they also have a nice parenting now, so they'll still have fun.
But they won't make the finals anymore. They are a bit sad
Yeah.
about that, I think.
Yeah.
They do understand that we want to see how far we could get together.
Yeah, but I also felt a bit bad because I really enjoyed puzzling with Jan, for example. So yeah, but I also enjoyed puzzling with Jan, of course.
So the training's in full effect at the moment. How many pieces do you think you're doing a week at the moment, would you say?
I don't know.
Actually, I haven't done so many, well, still a lot, but a bit less the last 2 weeks, because I think 2 weeks ago I said, I can't do another puzzle. I've done so many puzzles. I don't want to puzzle anymore. I never want to puzzle anymore. So then I knew, okay, I shouldn't keep up this pace for another month. I should take a break. And now I'm only doing puzzles that I'm.
Yeah, we're not doing the. Basically, what we're working on now is to go to Worlds with a good feeling. So we had a nice teams practice yesterday, so we're very happy about that. And then for pairs, if the puzzle is too stupid, we don't do it anymore.
Oh, you actually stop mid puzzle, do you?
No.
We know in advance if it's going to be good or not.
Yeah, you can tell when you look at the puzzle, this one's not going to be fun. And Ellen was also just deciding that maybe she's going to block my speed puzzling for the last 2 weeks, just so that she can keep this feeling from nice finishing first in the Euro Jigsaw Jam and just ignore what everyone else is doing for the last 2 weeks. Because the final 2 weeks, it doesn't really matter anymore, I think. You're not going to make a huge time jump in either direction.
Yeah.
So it's just basically going there with a good feeling that matters most now, I think.
Yeah, especially since I get defeated very, very easily by a puzzle, and I tend to think very quickly that everything's going wrong and it's hard and I can't do it. So now, great practice yesterday, great Euro Jigsaw Jam today. I don't want to see anything anyone does for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, properly bottle today and take that away with you. And
yeah, it really has, like, when she sees a time beforehand and she's puzzling, she's like, I'm not reaching that time, so I'm not doing well. And then she just starts casual puzzling instead of speed puzzling. Even though you don't know beforehand, sometimes you can easily still make that, but then Ella gets sometimes a bit discouraged.
Good. Well, I think personal management between now and Worlds is really important. And I think that sounds like a great plan.
Yeah.
Good.
You need to know what your weaknesses are.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, cool. Right, Michelle, are you any more news on the competition? Have we got?
Yeah, so we're up to 14 finishes, or actually 15 finishes, because Katrina and Christine just finished. So the top 10 was rounded out with Graham and Jody. Then we had 11th Sarah and Selma, 12th Karen and Farina, 13th Linka and Philippa, 14th Alina and Minna, and 15th Katrina and Christine. So fantastic at 1 hour and 18 minutes. And I think most of them did the Puzzle of Dreams. Just one more question, Inga and Ellen. I mean, we from the outside, it looks like you both have very similar strengths. You're both very good at busy puzzles. Is there something that you would say the other one is better at that complements your skills? Something that you can just leave to them? Like that you don't end up having this exact same skill base?
Ella is better at gradients, because I think our times don't differ that much when it's a gradient puzzle.
Yeah, and the gradients I get really close to Inge's times. Yeah, but then on harder puzzles, I can take like twice as long. Like seriously, something like the butterfly and the whole new series of Ravensburg. That's a disaster. I can't do it at all. Yeah, can't make it any prettier. Yeah, so that's definitely something you're better at.
Wow. Well, look forward to seeing you. Look forward to seeing you in Spain. I'm going to be running a little bit of Puzzle Chicken, sort of casually doing 100-piece puzzles in about 20 minutes, and I'm very keen for people to come and find me and sign up. So we're going to be doing a little bit of that. So it'd be good to see you and get you doing a little bit of that while we're over there. But yeah, no, well done today. That was a fantastic time. Brilliant.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Basic, nice, good preparation for the next
Yeah,
year.
we'll treasure it. Thanks
Good.
for the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks,
right.
Inga and Alan.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, so
Right.
yeah, we've just had 2 more finishes. I'll just bring them up. So we did have Aaron and Sophie, they were on screen. We didn't have Magdalena on screen because her camera was freezing. Yeah, Maggie and Magdalena, your screen still shows you only having done the border. Can you just maybe log out and log back in again and then refocus your camera? I cannot see your puzzle. Yeah. All right, then Freya and Tyra, well done. 17th place. So yeah, definitely looks like the Puzzle of Dreams is in favor. I wonder if that is because that the majority of people here feel more comfortable with busier puzzles, or yeah, not sure.
I think a lot of puzzle people just love colour. Okay. And just see that colour and just go, oh, colour.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I watched a video the other day by Isabel from New Zealand. She has a YouTube channel and she did a YouTube video about picking puzzles. And one of the things she did is she took the same picture using AI, which was like of a Neuschwanstein castle, and she showed it as a photo, as an illustration, and as a painting. And just to show that the same image, that generally a photo will be harder than an illustration, but generally a painting is harder than a photo, just because you have all the different brush strokes and the way everything just kind of blends in together. So it was just interesting. That's also something to think about as you have an image, 2 images, 4 images, whatever, to look at. Is there a painting in there which might just be naturally harder? And most people know that a photo is generally harder than an illustration, depending on the image.
Putting my artist's hat on, that's a really interesting statement, because one of the things that makes art compelling is what Bob Ross used to call the lucky mistakes. You know, he used to call the beautiful mistakes and things that you put in. And so quite often it's brushstrokes that are odd brushstrokes or colour that you put in that's strange that makes a painting compelling. But it makes it less sense as an image when you're actually looking at it as an image. It's like our brain's ability to make sense out of something that's not a sort of a true representation of the colours that exist. So that's fascinating, isn't it? That's really good information.
Yeah. All right. So now we'll we won't have a chat with Teresa and Marketa. They won't be staying today, but we'd love to have a chat with Melissa and Rihanna. So yeah, go ahead and turn your mic on, and we'd love to hear about your experience today.
Hello. Hey.
Hello. The problem with listening to an hour and 45 of podcast with people is you immediately start the conversation thinking that you really know them really well, but
That's very sweet. We're so happy to have done that podcast because it does help people get to know us. We're not just a name. You can know a little bit more about us and who we are. So I think that's cool.
I'll specifically address it to Rihanna because there's a really lovely moment where half an hour in, you said, I've really enjoyed half an hour of listening to my best friends. And it was real, true, lovely moment to hear from you and about the friendship and the sort of, the love there is within the group. As a listener, I had the same feeling listening to you expressing that.
Oh, that's very sweet.
It was a really lovely moment, and it shone all the way through. Again, we would thoroughly recommend anybody to go and listen to the podcast because there was just a lovely cohesive feeling all the way through about how you are towards each other, and there's no point where anyone spoke over anybody. There was obviously things like where you disagree about what your strengths are and things like that, but it was a really nice moment of spending time with a really functional team. It was a great listen. Yeah.
Oh, that's very kind.
Yeah,
Thank you. We understand that completely. I think we've become extremely close friends throughout the last year and this year especially. I think we're all just really excited to be together in Spain again, just to hang out and be together.
Yeah.
Because we don't get to see each other all that often. So when we are together, it's really special.
So you're calling us from Brisbane today, are you, or are you?
Yeah, just south of Brisbane. So I live on the Gold Coast.
And the time is
7:30 p.m.
in the
7:27.
evening. not too horrendous.
No,
It's not.
Sometimes we
had
have
a long
faith-
day, though,
Sometimes we have Jason helping us with evening competitions in the UK, and he's calling us from sort of 3 in the morning and stuff. Which
Oh,
still,
I'm sure we know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
the excellent Mr. Stevens.
It is.
Yeah. Anyway, good. So that's fantastic. So let's just talk about. Well, I almost felt like we should start with, like, I wanted to do, like, the Fellowship of the Rings that runs straight into the Two Towers almost seamlessly. I wanted to carry on with the podcast and just ask somebody outside, what is the issue with Katrina Coleman and circle puzzles? Because it just got left hanging at the end of the podcast where we had, and I thought.
You'll have to ask her about it.
I thought it'd be best to ask you that because she may not, but we'll get her on later and see if we can ask that.
Oh no, she'll spill the beans. She'll spill the beans.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we'll leave it to her. It's her thing to talk about. I love round puzzles, so I've got no gripes with them.
Okay, so we should get back to the order of today, which was the puzzles today and the choices and things. Do you want to just take us through the first 2 minutes?
Yeah, I really loved, I guess, like we were saying, it's really great world practice to be able to choose. I think that's the first time where we've actually had to choose under pressure for a competition. So that was really, really wonderful practice. And we did deliberate. It wasn't an obvious, but like we're very, very glad we chose the Puzzle of Dreams. So we found, like, with the other puzzle, the Falcon, there was like enough kind of color blocks and images to stay on a roll with things for a little bit longer, but being art style, we knew that would be tricky, and we also knew the edges would come together really slowly as well, whereas this one being a rainbow edge and more cartoony, and then the gradients in the background. So yeah, we chose this one and we're very glad we did.
This one was just a lot of fun too.
It was
It's
so much
bright.
fun.
It's got fun little quotes, fun little dudes on it with little faces. I'm all for
Did
it.
you find yourself dropping
really
into the
glad we
quotes a little bit and then going, no, I've got to come out and actually pay attention to puzzling?
It was like I did have sections where I'm like, I've got the word burden. Burden. I'm trying to find it on the puzzle or whatever it was. It's quite fun to have different little quotes.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that bit a lot.
Yeah, and I'm over here going, I've got a burger. There's a burger somewhere. Just like all these
There was a lot of
random-
that. We did laugh about halfway through. We said, what if we left our mic on? They would have heard a lot of garbage coming out of us. So that was fun.
Yeah, it's sad that this call is so large that it makes it impossible to have a mic on. Sometimes for our
That's
smaller
the
online
best,
ones,
really.
our smaller
That's
online ones,
honestly people.
we sometimes just leave them on, and it's hilarious. But yeah, so what was the division of labour? Who did what in this? Once you got going,
Rihanna did the words, so she pulled out all of the little phrases and was building them. And I built out the little characters, built the edges, and then focused on the gradient background. After that, pretty much. And then we kind of met in the middle and finished off the Puzzle of Dreams rainbow together. So
yeah. Wow, that sounds a good plan. There was I mean, it was interesting because we said often you find people will do things in a very repetitive way. You can watch the evolution of a puzzle being solved on a Zoom call, and everyone does it. But that puzzle, there were so many different ways that people were solving it. So some people did like looking at, I've got Hannah's on the screen now, and they look like they've put all the little word bubbles in, and they put none of the gradient in the background yet. And some people did completely the reverse. And some people were just doing little areas. Some people were sort of like screen printing it from top to bottom.
wow.
I mean, it's fascinating watching all the different ways of doing it. Yeah, many different ways to go. Yeah.
We'll have to watch the YouTube back to see how everyone else tackled it.
Yeah. So how much are you now next all going to meet in Spain? Presumably that's going to be
Yes.
the next thing. And when will you all get there? Will that be on this Sunday, or getting ready to roll? Or
Yeah,
will it be
most
a
of us arrives on the day of the opening ceremony, but the other three of us arrive on the day prior, so that will be good. Today's the last day that I'll see Mel, and then we'll see each other all in Spain. So it's starting to feel real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you've got a bit more of a brutal journey than a lot of us.
Yeah, just 24 hours, nothing big, you know. It's
Yeah, but I
fine.
mean,
It's
the Aussies love
fine.
the Aussies love a long journey, don't they?
We don't have a choice.
We'd love a short journey.
Nowhere
actually.
close. Nowhere.
Yeah. Well, yeah, well, maybe years to come, it might be a short journey. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Watch the space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and would you say your focus is fairly sort of broad across all the things, or again, are you really piling in on the All Stars as if you were to sort of rank this year, is it the unfinished business of the All Stars that's probably the most prominent thing in your minds?
Yeah, absolutely.
Top
Yeah.
5 you're after, I think, would that be then?
I mean, being 1 minute away from third last year, there's room for improvement there. So definitely coming back to give teams another crack. And then I'd say pairs is next for the two of us. I think solos is where we can have a bit of fun and get a nice world ranking, but it's probably not the priority.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be interesting with fewer US teams this year, but then we've got so many people just improving. I mean, the whole scene is just improving so out of sight, really. It's astonishing, isn't it? It's
That's right. Yeah, and there's all the people we don't know about, so we can't.
Yeah.
There's no.
We haven't
easy
counted
route.
any chickens. Don't worry. We'll wait until we're there.
no. So I guess, I mean, the thing with puzzling is fundamentally it's you against the puzzle, isn't it? So it's you can only deal with you and the puzzle, and what goes on around is stuff. Are we going to get to speak to the coach? Have they disappeared? We'd love a coach's view. Oh, we've got to bring the coach in. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Nathan Townsend. I'm Melissa's husband.
Hi, Nathan.
And
Great to
we're affectionately known as husbands.
Yeah. So were you watching just a bit of that, or did you just come in at the end? Or
I watched the beginning and I watched the end. The girls have had a very big day, as I mentioned before. They've done, I think, 6,000. This is their 6,000 piece that they put in just at the end there.
Wow.
So they've had a full day of training. So there's been a lot going on.
Gosh. And what's any tips or things you spotted, either for the general puzzle community of this, or just specifically for Mel and Rihanna?
Oh, look, I think there's a lot of stuff which is general advice. One comment from earlier today was, don't go browsing, right? If you spend time wandering around the puzzle looking for where a piece may go, that's not really productive. There's a lot of other things you could be doing than just browsing. And I think that probably applies to a lot of people. People either get stuck on a particular piece that they've found that stuck out to them visually in the pile, or there's a slot in the puzzle that looks like it should be filled and they go looking in the pile for the piece. Neither of those is the right approach.
Yeah.
It's just grab stuff that you know where it goes, put it in, grab the next thing that you know where it goes, put that in.
Yeah. We have a thing within our pair where Kasia just will do that for a little bit, and then she just goes, Dad, and she just hands them over.
Yeah.
Browsing becomes pass it to Dad. Yeah. That's brilliant. Gosh. And so how many of you sort of in relation to the actual Aussie All-Stars team, what's the travelling contingent? How many of you coming over this year?
For Aussie All-Stars or for Australians?
So I know you said about the Australians, you said about 38 registered, but within the sort of friends and family of the, what's the travelling All-Stars family? How many
I'm going with my fiance, as they called it in the thing. So Michael's coming with me, Nathan with you.
Yeah,
We've
Bevan
got
with Katrina.
and Bevan has her husband, and then Hannah will be joined by her brother and her sister-in-law, who she's going with right now.
Yeah,
So there'll be
9 of us.
9 of us.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
9 for 4.
Yeah. And will you be doing lots of practice once you get there, or is it a little bit like Inga and Ellen said, that it's the practice is done, enjoy the event? Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
No,
Unless the practice involves drinking a glass of rosé and enjoying each other's company, that's about all we'll do.
Is that all through the week, or does that start?
No.
You have to achieve some success for that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll wait till closing ceremony for the drink.
One of the reasons we set the question was following on from listening to the podcast, talking about when you were talking about, because one of the things I really loved about it was how you all had very specific roles within the within what you do, and how that's so clear. Well, I mean, I guess it feels like it's probably clear from listening to you talking about a pairs competition as well, when you're puzzling as a pair, but also puzzling as that. I was interested how that evolved. Is that just something that just from puzzling a lot together, or was that sort of was there a sort of request within the team to sort of express, I want to be the edge person? And has that also changed as well as the other thing? Has that changed?
Yeah, I think it did evolve. Like it definitely wasn't a predetermined roles that needed to be filled. It was definitely kind of the team construct came about because of people's preferences and the way that they puzzle. And being fast puzzlers individually, we wanted to try and maintain that speed as a team. So we just had to work in with everybody's strengths and preferences. And, we had, people that prefer to do the edges or and then Ree's an excellent sorter. So,
and I like doing it, which apparently is rare.
Yeah.
So that's been good too.
Yeah.
And Katrina mentioned in the podcast she likes to be next to the box because she doesn't puzzle with her glasses on. So there was a couple of little things that we made work, I feel, in the original first catch up that we did, and a lot of that stayed.
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing was just once we'd established our needs to maintain our speed, then it was okay, well then you have to sit there and the box has to go here and the puzzle has to go there, and then we just kind of voila, now we have a system.
No, it's fantastic. It did really come across about how you feel like a sort of like a Formula One pit crew, that you've all got a specific role and you all know what your role is. I totally loved. I went and looked at the Instagram footage of Regis looking at the box because I thought that was so great. I love that. I thought it is a great bit of footage and just seems so sensible now. I still haven't quite managed to get myself to do that. I just you just throw yourself into a puzzle, but I do think whether we all should just do that, stop and spend a little bit of time just thinking about what on earth we're doing.
It can be counterintuitive, and a lot of people instinctively want to do action.
Yeah,
it's a race, so I must be doing something immediately.
Yeah.
But when you rationalize it back from an outsider's perspective, you can pick apart what are the steps and what is the sequence that they need to be in, and realize, okay, well, if we rapidly do the wrong thing, that will not be faster than being a little bit slower and then doing the right thing, which will always be faster. And so it's the decision-making part of puzzling is by far the most important and also therefore the slowest of the whole process. Your hands can move very fast, but you have to use your brain to tell them what to do. And so therefore you need to make better decisions, and that's part of the training.
I think it's going to be fascinating in Spain this year. I know there was quite a lot of chat last year about the country rule and all that sort of stuff, but I think that the chat is going to be about puzzle choices. I just can see that is going to be the case, isn't it? Because it's felt like for a long time that that's that you against the puzzle, and the outcome is what you do with that puzzle over the 30-40 minutes that you're puzzling for. And now for some people who are going to be in the marginal cutoffs, it's going to be about that decision they make in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think that's going to be fascinating. I was wondering whether there's been a chat amongst the Australian contingent about that. There certainly has been quite a lot on our WhatsApp about that. I was interested.
I think people are nervous about picking the wrong one because that's a really big decision that you don't want to walk away from your qualifying round knowing that you should have chosen a different one, and had you chosen differently, maybe the result would have been different. You don't really want any regrets. It's hard when you're walking out of a qualifier and you've only got one puzzle to have regrets. Maybe you didn't do it in the right order, but apart from that, that's it.
Yeah.
But choosing the wrong puzzle is such a big difference. I mean, even we felt it today as we were doing this one. We thought, did we pick the correct one? And you've got that I said to Mel, I don't want to know. If you look up, I don't want to know what other people have chosen, because I don't want that sitting with me. So I think that that will be a big point of worry for people.
And that's a
Yeah.
good point too, Ree. Like if you're sharing a table with somebody and in qualifying, I think everyone is, and you've picked a different puzzle to the person sitting next to you, you've got to like even if you're sure you've made the right choice, just seeing somebody with a different puzzle could make you get into your head about it. So it is like you said, it introduces a completely different dynamic to a competition.
Yeah, I think if those sort of things stress you, I think there will be a few people who will be very stressed by it. I mean, I think if you're a cool cookie, then yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
But I could see that at the other end of the spectrum, there might be a few people who will really struggle with that. So
I think those stressed people need to do this puzzle and read all the little affirmations on it. Maybe that'll help them.
they're lovely, aren't they? Just, I do my usual thing, because again, I get criticised for this of getting distracted by it. But I took some photos and I had them on my phone. I was trying to commentate and I was looking at some little comments and trying to not chuckle at them and get back into the zone. Sorry, Michelle.
No worries. Yeah, I really liked the way that you decided to be project manager, Rihanna, and that you say that you're the chief sorter. I thought that was a really good way to do it. So I'm just wondering, at what point do you, like, everybody starts flipping, but at what point do people start puzzling and you're the one who's left to be still being sorting at the end? Like, do you have like one person does the border, one person does the sky, one person does something else, and then you're still there? Like, can you just explain that process a bit longer?
So Katrina and Hannah are our edge builders, so they'll go off and build the edge, and then Mel just picks something that she wants to build. So if I think back to the magical jungle, I can never remember the name of it. The one from World's Final last year. I think, Mel, you took like the sloth or something.
Yeah, it took a couple of minutes.
Whilst I'm sorting for the girls. So most of my job is sorting and then giving them something to work on. And ideally I have something for them on a board, them being Hannah and Katrina, by the time they finish the edge. And then by the time I've given them something to work on, I can give Mel something, and it just kind of continues just in like next thing that I can get out of the pile. You know, they're all very fast builders, and that's the best way, is to take the getting up, coming over to the pieces and all of that jazz, just to give them what they need at the time that they need it.
I'm interested that you say that Hannah and Katrina both work on the border. Okay, because in our team we have one border builder. Okay, so you have two people who straight away start on the border. That's interesting.
Yeah, they both really like the edge as a way of getting their eye into the puzzle. We found when the first time we ever puzzled together, so we've done it like that, and it seems to work okay. They have their own way of doing it, I'm sure. It's not something that we really look at.
No, because we're not involved in that process. I couldn't even tell you how they do it.
I assume it involves putting pieces together.
Yeah. Once you've built the edge, do you keep the middle fairly free, or apart from stuff that is where it is? Are people allowed to put pieces in and puzzle?
I'm not like a mess of pieces in the middle. I think that would annoy us.
Yeah, me too.
Keep your workspace tidy.
Yeah. Gosh. Oh, you've got an additional guest has come and joined us as well.
Yeah.
This is Carly.
And Hannah's got one under the table somewhere.
She does.
Yes. Well, online puzzle event is not an online puzzle event without at least some pet activity.
Yeah.
Good. Brilliant. Now, Michelle, what do you want to do? Do you want to, because I see that Katrina and Christine have finished at 1:17. Do you want to pull them into the call, or do you want, how do you want to go from now?
I think we'll let Melissa and Rihanna go, and then we'll have a chat with Katrina and Christine. So thanks so much, Melissa and Rihanna. We look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks in Spain, and seeing what you can do, and a great example today of your abilities. So I hope you
Thank
had
you so
fun.
much for having us. This has been a lot of fun. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Katrina. Bye, Hannah.
Bye, guys.
All right. Yes, so we just had a lot of finishes, so we are now up to 44 finishes. I have to check all the screens because we had a lot of people finishing at the same time and I didn't have everybody on screen. So welcome to Katrina and Christine, and James, you can go ahead and start with the first questions. I have to do some things in the background.
Right, let me just get them. Hi guys, let's get you up on our screen. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Good, welcome to the Euro Jigsaw Jam. Great to see you. Have you just listened to what we've been saying to the other guys, or are you just coming right?
Yes,
So welcome to Euro Jigsaw Jam. Brilliant. Great times. That's how did you feel the puzzle went for you today? What was the initial thoughts? What did you do when you when you saw the puzzles when you first looked at them?
a bit like Michelle said, I'm a landscape person, so I was actually instantly drawn to the landscape. But the more I looked at it, the more I thought that we would find it quite difficult. Obviously, it's dark here, and so we're relying on artificial lighting, which is less than ideal for an art style puzzle. So we just felt that the bright colours would give us a bit of a guide for the puzzle of dreams. So we switched to that one.
Oh, I'm just doing my Tasmania calibration because you're in winter and you're south in Tasmania, aren't you? So it's 7 o'clock-ish, but it's properly dark with you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, next stop Antarctica.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Good. Yeah. So you went and then once you'd chosen that one, how did you go about solving? What was the division of labour there then?
I am very much the sorter. Katrina is the speed puzzler of the two of us on the support act. So I sort, and generally Katrina will give me a bit of an idea as to what she would like first. With this one, because there was quite a lot of colour there, I tried to sort quite a bit of colour out so that Katrina's always got something to move on to, like Rhiannon was saying. And then, eventually there comes a point where I will jump in and start puzzling. But Katrina's definitely the speedy one of the two of us, so it just pays to give her everything she needs.
We had said there's definitely some different ways that people sorted this. So how did you sort it? Did you sort out the words, or did you sort out the gradient, or feature things, or what?
We started with background colour initially, and then moved into the words later on. So white letters on black and black letters on white. Once we had a little bit of structure to it, but the start of it was definitely the background colouring.
So I do have to pick up the question I did ask earlier on, which is about circle puzzles, because I feel that at least, unless Rob's going to come back and do a part 2 Aussie All Stars, Peace Talks puzzle, we can't leave this hanging in the air. So are you happy to talk to us about circular puzzles?
Yes, I think I'm over the trauma. Yep.
What happened?
Oh, look, no, the main thing is, actually what started it all, I suppose, was first year at Worlds. So we got a round puzzle in the qualifier, and I had never done the Ravensburger round puzzle before. So I was already at a little bit of a disadvantage. That's how I felt anyway. And then when I opened the bag, there's tiny pieces and then there's bigger pieces, and it's like, oh, is this piece broken? No, it's not. That's how it's meant to be. That was fine. I sort of started to get into the puzzle. A volunteer stood right at the edge of the desk. Their phone rang and they answered it, and I was thinking, right, I was so not in the puzzle zone that I would normally be in, and completely blocking everything out. It was just a disaster. I still qualified, but it felt like it was a disaster. And so it's like, that's it. I'm never doing a round puzzle ever again, until they sort of start cropping up in competitions, and it's like, oh, here we go. But I just think at the time, my finding the process of that circular cut for my brain is so completely different to the normal grid cut puzzle. It's probably a bit the same with even random cut. I do struggle with random cuts, not like the grid cut. The piece shape is pretty important to me. So that's sort of the main thing. And unfortunately, I for my state competition as well, we also had a round puzzle. And obviously, being the previous state champion, it was anticipated that I would do well. But unfortunately, I found that the person puzzling next to me actually managed to throw 6-7 pieces, I think it was, in the end, into my pile. And if you've got a round puzzle, it's not, and a round circle of flowers, it's not actually easy to differentiate whether that piece actually belongs to your flower or not. So I'm trying all these pieces and just going, this is another one of theirs, chuck it away. So I have had some trauma with rounds. I'm all over it now, I'm glad to say, and I'm ready to face a round in the competition now.
Yeah, because some of them are quite gradienty, aren't they? Which I guess would sort of fall back into some of your strengths. But I'm totally with you. I got so used to the Ravensburger sort of ribbon cut, and then suddenly places that you get that little weird nubbly one in the middle come out, and it feels like the first pancake. When you make pancakes and it's all horribly misshapen. That I'd like to rename now officially in puzzle language is the first pancake piece.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm totally on board with that. I think there are circular puzzles and there are circular puzzles, aren't there? There's ones that you can almost sort of like, because of the way they're set up and the colour is, you can almost sort of print as you go around. And then there's the ones that have the sort of outside that's disconnected from the inside, and you're trying to sort of build out from the middle, in from the out, and not my
wedge style one's not so bad, but the one we had in the qualifier was the Pokeball.
Yeah. No, I think I'll do a little bit of fanboy stuff, because I think you were one of the first people I actually met at Worlds, which you again won't remember. But I think it was in the cafe over from Valladolid a couple of years ago, and I think someone said,
"Oh yes,
they're the
because
champion.
Annika,
they're the champion." yeah. And so in that little cafe where everybody sort of congregates when things are, So it sounds like the team's in good shape. And I guess you're not going to reveal your mood board on this. This is you had your mood board for the previous one, which you won't.
My vision board.
We'll be able to tempt that out of you at this, because again, I like the idea of us getting more information than Rob got. I think that's. So you just have to ask these questions, but you can answer no.
My vision board might be revealed after the event if the things on my vision board actually come true this time.
Right. Okay, so we're going for after. No, that's that sounds the right way round, I think. Okay, so you run competitions as well, Katrina, don't you? Is that right?
Yeah.
You run. Yeah. Do you want to tell us a bit about so the if anybody hadn't listened to the podcast for the European crew, about what you do with your competition setup?
Yeah. So when I came back from the first Worlds, it was really obvious that the exposure to puzzle competitions for people in Europe and America was so much higher than Australia. I went to Worlds the first year with one competition under my belt. That was it. The second competition I ever entered was Worlds. So when I came back from that, it's like, no, we need to get people a little bit more involved and give them the opportunity to race and practice different brands. So I set up Speed Puzzles Australia, again, online jigsaw puzzle race. And the first couple of events went really well, but I realised that there was quite a disparity between, say, the people like Hannah and Mel at the top end of the speed puzzling scale, and people that just wanted to get a start and see if it was for them. So I actually split into two divisions, which is the top stars for those people that are very competitive, that can generally complete their puzzle in under an hour and a half. And then the new stars for people that are new to puzzling, so anyone that's sort of generally an hour and a half or more to complete their puzzle. And I also did a few new stars introductory events where I would actually spend half an hour before the race and actually go through some of the skills and strategies that the speed puzzlers actually use, and hopefully help the new stars on their puzzle journey. So not a lot of feedback necessarily for the top stars. It's why I'm fairly quiet throughout the actual race, like you would find in a competition environment, basically just facilitating the opportunity to have that race. But when it comes to the new stars, there's a lot of support, a lot of encouragement, a lot of
You know, I can see you're struggling. How about we try to do this? Or let's focus on just the one gradient, or let's focus on just the one texture, and just some ideas. And it was really nice at the recent state competitions where I caught up with some of the puzzlers out of state from me, just to sort of hear them say, oh, I got a bit stuck here, but I could just hear you in the background going, come on, you can do this, move those pieces a bit closer, or something like that. So that was really nice to hear that.
Is anyone in within that setup since you've been running who you almost could like put your arm around and say they're mine? You know, like that they've gone from like not doing it before to like they're right at the top end of Aussie puzzling now. Is there? Have you got any names of people? That
probably not quite that growth, but it, you know, it certainly is nice when people. One lady in particular was in my call today, and she's actually coming to Worlds. It's just on her bucket list, you know. So, and the first 2 or 3 competitions, we had 2.5 to 3 hours. So just depending if for the new stars, if it looks like a few people aren't that far away from finishing, I'll hang around to, you know, extend it from 2.5 to 3 hours. But she didn't manage to get the puzzle, 500-piece puzzle, finished in 3 hours for the first couple of rounds. And today, today she managed to get the puzzle finished in under the 2 hours. And just to see, look, she keeps saying, just stick at it. This is to the new stars, just stick at it, because this is where I was and this is where I am now, just based on some of the feedback that Katrina's given. So yes, it's very much like, you know, these people I'm sort of helping along. It feels really great, really grateful for their support, and you know, it's really nice to be able to help them on their journey.
Yeah. How many people have you got in top stars at the moment?
Varies, but it's usually about 30, 35 people for most of the top stars, and new stars usually running about 40 to 45 people.
That's not capped, it's done more on time.
Sorry?
That's not capped, that's done more on time.
Yeah, look, anybody's open to it. You know, the only restriction that I have is if you win 2 of the new star events, then you must remain in the top stars and not puzzle in the new stars. But new stars are able to puzzle in the top stars event if they wish. They're just mindful that they don't have quite as much time, and people are going to be finishing fairly quickly. So most people are okay with that.
And you said you don't like ribbon cut, but do you throw in any ribbon cut puzzles in there?
Oh, random. I don't like the random, and I haven't yet. I've yet to throw in. Sorry, one random which I didn't realise was a random at the time, which was a workshop 500 piece. So there are some random shapes, but it's not extremely random. Say like a cobble peel or something like that.
Yeah, we leading into our first Worlds, the one which I think was the same first Worlds that you guys went to. We were signed up to the Jonathan Clough ones in America, and it was amazing what he'd done with those. But he loves a random cut puzzle. I think the majority of them would be some obscure American random cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we stopped doing it after 2 years, and I've hardly done a random cut puzzle since. It's sort of I'm sort of hoping Ravensburg can never get it in their head to sort of explore the random cut world, because I think that would set the competitive sort of the competitive field alight, wouldn't it? Yeah. May I ask then the question I asked the others about what do you think about the puzzle choice thing coming in? I have genuine concerns about how that's going to affect the World Championships.
Yeah, it is a bit concerning because of the pressure on you to actually choose the right puzzle, and even some of the times when you sort of look at a few different puzzles, particularly where we don't get a lot of the puzzles actually down here in Australia. So we looking at some of the European release puzzles and going, okay, so people are doing XYZ time on this puzzle, but will I do XYZ time on this puzzle first time around? Am I actually better off doing a puzzle, the alternative puzzle, if it's a puzzle that I have done, even though the average time on it is probably slower, is my time on it actually going to be faster because I've done it before, compared to doing potentially fast puzzle that you haven't done before? So that is a real concern, and I'm not really thinking too much about it. I'm hoping that I'll just know when I open the bag which one I'm going to go for. And a bit like today, we both sort of said we never actually thought we should have done the other puzzle at any time. It'll just be, no, this is what I'm doing, and irrespective. It's probably not a major concern for me. For those people that are borderline qualifying, I think it's a massive decision for them to have to make, and it's one that I wouldn't like to be making.
Yeah, no, I do have that anxiety that every heat we're going to have one or two people who'll be on the cusp who will not get through because of a decision they made in a high anxiety state in a short amount of time. So
yeah, and I can appreciate what they're trying to achieve in that, some people are better at landscapes and some people are better at busy puzzles or illustrations, whatever the case might be. But at the end of the day, it's hardly a comparable race if you're racing two different puzzles.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's going to be tough. Yes.
I'll just see what Christine thinks, because Christine, obviously, should qualify irrespective of which puzzle I choose.
I will be very much borderline. I came into, this will be my first Worlds, and I was doing it more as a bucket list, just go and get across the Worlds. By happy accident of geography, I've wound up with Katrina as my mentor and pairs partner, purely because I live just up the road and we can train together. I initially had no expectation that I would get beyond first round in individual puzzling. Now I'm getting closer to that. It will be a big thing for me whether I make it through or not, whether the puzzle choice actually affects that. And like Katrina said, it's challenging to consider it as an apples for apples competition if we're not all on the same puzzle. So it'll be really interesting. Won't break any hearts.
Christine, I can't say how strongly I would recommend being knocked out in the first round. It's it's a strong James tradition. So
I've got more ambition since I've been working with Katrina than I did when I bought my ticket, let me tell you.
Yeah. There's
I've been very fortunate. She's been very generous with her guidance, and certainly I heard today on I was on her Top Stars competition, and I heard a comment from someone that one of the new stars had been so very excited because Katrina mentioned how much improvement she'd seen in her speed puzzling, and she was absolutely stoked to hear that from Katrina. So a lot of generosity that Katrina brings to the puzzling world over here.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of love going back as well from the other side. Good. Now I'm just going to go up to Michelle, see how Michelle's doing, see if you've got things you'd like to ask.
Yeah. So I'd like to know, maybe Christina can tell us, how did you make the decision today to do that puzzle?
As Katrina said, we looked at both of them, and probably for both of us, our natural place would be that landscape painting style of puzzle. But with the lighting that we had and looking at the 6 different landscapes, there wasn't enough variation between them. We felt that we could get quite confused. I most commonly wind up doing the sky, and there were 6 lots of sky, but they weren't different enough. So we felt that if we wanted to go quickly and keep moving, that actually wasn't going to work in our favour. The Puzzle of Dreams had a lot more colour variation in it and a lot more sorting and stuff to move on to that we could continue working on. So that was pretty much how the decision got made. In our general strategy is Katrina's the boss. where there's a borderline decision, it's on Katrina.
Yeah, and Ken, in the podcast, we heard the origin stories of how the others got involved in speed puzzling. Can you tell us how you got involved? Did you just happen to bump into Katrina one day at the supermarket and she was wearing her Australian puzzle t-shirt and that got you talking, or was it through some other way?
No, the inaugural Tasmanian State Championships came up in my Facebook feed. I've been puzzling since I was a small child. My grandmother always had a puzzle going, and when we visited her, I can remember doing the giant train puzzle on the floor that went forever. But I've always sort of done the bigger the better. You don't look at the box, no speed about it. But I'll just have a little go at this speed puzzling thing, and really enjoyed it. And the rest is history. And like I say, Katrina and I had not met until after last year's Worlds, and it was quite literally she got in contact with me because I live
close by, so we could train physically together leading up to the World. So that's how I became her pairs partner. Nothing else. Actually, it was because she could see my times on her Top Stars competitions.
Yeah, and so and you're also a regular participant in the online competitions?
Yes, I'll do every one of them I can get my hands on.
Fantastic.
They're a lot of fun.
And what kind of feedback was she giving you? Because I think it's quite interesting that during the call, she's actually talking to the participants specifically about what they're doing. So what kind of things would she say to you while you were puzzling?
So I've always done the Top Stars ones, so not as much feedback in there, but a lot of guidance that I've heard her give to a lot of different competitors, which she's given to me, obviously, as we've been training together. You know, keep your pieces close, keep your puzzle area nice and clear, try not to touch the pieces too many times, just the simple basic stuff that makes really good common sense, but unless someone's watching you puzzle, you won't necessarily pick it up yourself. But it's invaluable.
And what are you specifically looking forward to the most in Valladolid?
Oh, in Valladolid itself, I have absolutely no idea. Never been to Spain. I'm just looking forward to getting into the puzzling competition and getting the vibe of it. And as I say, I was originally going as an individual, and now I'm going to individual pairs and teams. So it's going to be a very busy week. My poor husband thought he was just getting a holiday in Spain with me doing one puzzle.
Yeah.
That's not really the case anymore. Hopefully I'll be doing a lot more than that.
It's a little bit consuming, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I was sort of interested with this about how consuming it can be within the Australian crew and within the team. Is there anybody involved in sort of team care? Is it sort of like anybody who's very good at going, I think we should all go and eat now or something? Because do you know, I mean, we had that thing where you just get so involved and then the friend's doing a puzzle in the next round, or you want to see what the puzzle is, and then you get talking to someone and you just struggle to leave. I was just wondering whether there's anybody within the either within the general Aussie setup or within your team who do come on.
It is probably the task of the husbands and
right.
the says and the cheer squad, whoever might come. It's certainly the task that I handball to my hubby. So it's his job to just take care of all that sort of stuff and get me to the dome on time, so that I don't have to worry too much. Because yes, I'm with you. The girls nearly missed their flight out of Tasmania because we were puzzling. So yeah. that's when they came down to visit for a training run. So yeah, you know exactly what that's like.
There's puzzles to do, there's puzzles to watch, there's puzzle people to talk to, the world is burning down around me, I'm still carrying on.
Save the puzzles. I gather there are one or two people on the Australian team who are quite good at reminding everybody to drink. Probably not hydrate.
Both during the daytime and in the evening. I know.
Well, I noticed that someone in the Australian team has the surname Drink Water. So I could imagine that they should be sponsored by like a water company and just remind everyone to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Katrina and Christine. It was really great seeing you watching you puzzle today, and just seeing you enjoy some different brands, because I don't think you get so many Falcons or Gibsons down under. And we really look forward to seeing you puzzle as a pair in Spain in the next couple of weeks.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Yeah, it was a really good opportunity. It's the first time that Christine and I have actually done a race, a 1,000-piece race. So I think it's been invaluable for us. It's been great. So thank you. Really appreciate it.
It feels a bit Eurovision-y, doesn't it, that we've got the Aussies in now. I love this development. I think we should keep it going.
We promise not to sing.
Oh.
Well, thanks so much, Katrina and Christine, and good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you all in a few weeks. Bye.
Good luck, everybody.
So we are at 2 hours and 9 minutes. We still have just over 50 minutes to go. And we're up to 62 finishes. So congratulations on just in the last few minutes, we had Valentina and Clearly finish, Christina and Alexandra, and Martina, Elisa, and Jessie and Jan. So a lot of pairs that all finished around the same time. Oh, and I see that Susanna and Joan has finished. Congratulations. So in the meantime, we had, and here goes Sabina and Elisa. Congrats. Hannah did arrive an hour late. She and her pair Marina have actually finished. So yeah, now we have the opportunity to talk to the third Aussie pair, and yeah, we'd love to catch up with you guys. Yeah, welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry we're late.
Tell us about that. Must have been a bit of a stressful start.
I got the time conversion wrong by an hour. So I was going to be 15 minutes early for the 7 o'clock start, which was not the case. I found out when Mel called me and said, "Are you going to log on?" And I was driving up the freeway about an hour away.
Slightly heavier foot on the journey then.
Yeah, we got there. It was good fun.
Oh, arrive in style. I think that was
A bit of adrenaline to start us off.
Definitely.
this is it's still pretty spectacular that you arrive. How many did we say? Did we have have we done the maths then? What was how far into the competition were we going when we started?
I recorded on a stopwatch and we did an hour and 7.
Fantastic. That's so impressive.
I don't know if that's similar to what you had or not, but it doesn't matter.
And I presume you're on the table in front of you, not the table behind you.
Oh, no, not the pool table. The makeshift trestle table, doing it well.
Yeah, good, brilliant, well done. That was quite something. The puzzle you did, it was I had it a little bit up on the feed, and you got the edge in nicely, and then we were doing a little bit of stuff as people finishing, and then the next thing I looked up, and you'd done all the words, and so that was so who was so let's just go through from the start. What happened with when you opened them and had the choice? What happened then? What did you do?
Well, I'm going to be honest. We actually didn't know what what the process was, if we had to choose one or if we did both. So we just took a gamble and started doing that one, and then we realized that you only had to do one. Yeah, which is good. So we picked this nice and bright and colorful, and Marina loves words, so she just jumped straight on that and smashed it out of the park.
Yeah, I think it's pretty rare to get like a competition with words. So when it happened, I'm very excited and happy.
So that's like a big, some people would love to see something like a piece of red or something like that, and they'll pull those out. But for you, words would be like, oh, that's really...
I think so. I mean, it was helpful that some words had the black background, some had the white, some were color, so it was easy to differentiate those, and then you just kind of match fonts. So yeah.
And then you sort of just did a gradient puzzle on top of the words after that, I guess. Is that...
Sort of, yeah. I was picking out the details of the little characters, and sort of, I guess I had an overview of the puzzle because I had it facing up. So Marina would give me the bits that she'd connected, and I would just drop them into where they go. And we just kept doing that over and over and even right up till the end, I think Marina was still not really seeing the gradient at all.
No.
Still just seeing little details and shapes, and I was working the opposite. I was just doing gradient, and it came together really nicely. Mm-hmm. It was great fun, great puzzle
really
choice.
Fun.
Yeah, no, I think that's a lovely puzzle. I think that was well done, Michelle. That's a good pick.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we think probably slightly more people, probably 2/3, 1/3, I think went for the puzzle dream, and so I think you were in with the crowd. Yeah. Now, I may be missing on this. I am missing on this. Are you puzzling together for Worlds?
Yes. So Marina is my sister-in-law.
Right.
When I found out that she was going to Worlds, I said, "Right, you're mine. You're coming with me."
Yeah.
Mel and Bree, who you spoke with before, they had already decided that they were going to pair together. So yeah, I'm very happy to be partnering with Marina.
And did you have the sound on when you were puzzling? Did you hear any of the other interviews? So we did,
it was nice background noise, actually.
So you've heard all the slanderous things they said about you.
Absolutely. No, no, thank you for your comments before, particularly about Bree in the interview, how much she enjoyed that, and then how you enjoyed, and I guess
it was a genuinely just a really lovely listen. I will be honest with you. I've listened to it twice now because I listened to it. It sounds, I don't want to sound stalky or anything, but I listened to it. I listened to it as it came up on my podcast when it came up as the because it's one of the ones I follow. And then Michelle said we've got the Aussie All Stars on, so I thought I'll just refresh my memory about it. So I listened to it yesterday again. And so I've now spent quite a bit of time listening to this podcast, and I just love it. I think it is so nice to hear you guys talking about each other, about how you work together. I think it's a wonderful thing, and how you express it, and like the respect for each other within the group, and how you all understand what you do. I think it's really good. Great podcast.
Yeah, we've got I think we're very lucky that we've got the team dynamics from a personality point of view, but then also the puzzling way we've figured out all of our strengths and weaknesses and made it work. But we also get on very well with each other, so it's good fun.
Yeah, that did come up in the question that we set, that certainly some of the sort of the interpersonal stuff's so important as well. It's not just about, because the obvious answer to what would you like most in your pairs partner is someone who can do 25 pieces a minute. But if they're impossible to work with.
Yeah, but I think we've had a lot of fun partnering together because we already had that base as well. And you're talking to Katrina a bit before about her puzzle competitions that she runs, and Marina started off in the New Stars with Katrina, so only last year, and it's been awesome to
now heading to Worlds.
See her
we were trying to lure out of Katrina some names of some of the new stars who've gone up into. So this is the first Worlds for you, Marina, coming along.
Yeah, first World. So I'm really excited.
And you're doing everything.
Yeah, everything but teams, actually. Couldn't find a team in the end, but also it kind of gives me a bit of extra time to just travel around. So I'm not too sad about it.
Are you still going to be in town when teams is going on, though?
Yeah, definitely. And I'll come watch the Aussie All Stars, of course. But yeah, I'm really excited for pairs in particular. I think Hannah and I we just have fun with it. And I think having that rapport, already, it's easy to do things like just be selfish, like say, oh, I'm doing this and you're going to do that. And it's just kind of, it's fine.
There's no apologies needed.
No.
Good, quick, direct communication is essential.
Yeah.
And you don't want too much pride, So, yeah. We have a thing in our team last year, which every piece placed is a positive piece for the team, So it's there's no my pieces or it's
there's no hard feelings.
No, good. Right. So you don't think you will be lured in though with if you got a good offer from a team to come and join a different team?
I don't know. I think I get a bit in my head because I'm still quite new to it all, and I think I'd just be self-critical the whole time, or like, I need that like gentle. I have my sister-in-law, and she's helping me through it all. If that makes sense. Yeah.
A support person.
Yeah, some people have the emotional support board, and you got the emotional support.
Exactly.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. Good. Well, that sounds like that's at least a beginning of a plan. But I wonder if you might be lured into a team if someone because they end up being there, and it's it's an opportunity to do a puzzle.
Totally, I know. Who can turn away from a puzzle? It's very hard. Yeah.
It is a good vibe when you're there. We're hoping we might get you guys to come along, do a little bit of Puzzle Chicken at some point. We're hoping to run some Puzzle Chicken events. So where we get you to do you know
what Puzzle Chicken is, Hannah?
No.
So Puzzle Chicken is something we've done through the UK JPA, where we're doing them in person with 100-piece puzzles, and we basically have a countdown clock, and to get a place you have to you have to have completed it by the time the clock hits 0. So if you go past the 0, you're still puzzling, you're out. And the winner is the first.
Puzzle chess, but the reverse, I guess, that you've got a time limit.
Well, we're running groups of about 10 to 12 people puzzling together at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And the winner is the person who starts last.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
right.
fun.
And we really encourage everyone to talk to each other,
cool.
to sort of there's a bit of brinkmanship and pushing each
Yeah.
other on who's going to go latest. And but we also you also don't all get the same puzzle either.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh,
I'm
very
intrigued.
cool. Yeah.
Count
So
me in.
maybe we'll get you to come along for a bit of puzzle chicken. It'll be fun.
Sounds fun. Puzzle anything in your go there.
Yeah. Good. Now we're bringing a few puzzles, and Michelle's bringing me a few puzzles as well to help to run that. So yeah, no, that should be great. Well, it's getting so close now, isn't it? Are you doing any additional? I've got the feeling like everyone's beginning to just sort of like just get body and soul together rather than puzzle now between now and Worlds. Or are you still going to be putting pieces in?
I'm flying out tomorrow, and
Right.
And Marina's about a week away.
Yeah.
Oh, so are you doing a tour? Are you doing a bit of a?
I'm doing some other holidaying, so I'm hiking in France for a little bit, and hoping I don't injure my hand at all.
Yeah. So a leg in a cast maybe, but the hands are fine. Yeah, hands
Yeah.
are fine. And so it's just France and Spain you're visiting this time round?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And which bit of France will you be visiting?
The Pyrenees, so southern France.
Fantastic. Oh.
Yeah. So I'm bringing 2 puzzles with me. I've allocated that to at least keep me going a little bit while I'm traveling.
You're not walking the Pyrenees to Villatelid, are you?
No, not quite. No,
Oh,
that would be overachieving.
yeah. So and the 2 puzzles you're taking with you, are they ones you've done before, or they're sort of favourites?
Yeah, some of the 2025 release. Actually, no, one of them I haven't done because I just got it 2 days ago. Is the Minecraft one. And then I think the other one is Spikes, because they're hard to get 2025s in Australia. So I figured I spent the money getting them posted here. I may as well bring them with me as well.
It's not got any peacocks on it.
No. No, but I've never done that one.
I am fascinated to see. I can't see they're going to do that. But then I didn't think anybody would do Eye of the Glacier, but one of the national competitions in Europe did Eye of the Glacier. So
No.
you never know.
That's
But because I think with the business of the choice, there might be 1 or 2 where there's a difficult one and an impossible one.
Yeah,
Because there's only so many release puzzles they can do. So I think I've got a feeling that most of the heats they will be matching-ish difficulty. So some heats there'll be 2 fairly easy illustrations, and then some heats I'm presuming they'll match a fairly tough puzzle with a really tough puzzle.
Yeah, because they're not going to do an easy one and a tough one because that's not a choice.
They've got to balance them. So I wouldn't be surprised if Peacock and there's 1 or 2 other ones.
The epic journey, the one with the mountains going into the sea.
I have done that one.
Yeah. I must find it. Even those very colourful animal ones that they brought out with the lionfish and the lionfish and the chameleon seem to be taking me ages to do at the moment. So
The butterfly is also really hard.
yeah, the butterfly. Yeah.
Oh yes, sorry, that's the other
I
one.
look at those and think they're lovely and they'll be really nice, and then they've just got quite a lot, aren't they? Got quite a lot of stuff. Anyway, we'll see. Yes, and so you're sort of practicing your choices. Who's in charge for pairs? Who would be in charge of choice?
Absolutely, Hannah. Like my track record with puzzles and how I got into it was just picking the hardest looking puzzles and going with it. I love anything hard. And so now I'm too skewed. I can't choose anything at all.
Yeah.
Veto.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
There's definitely going to be tables where there's going to be discussion, and there's definitely going to be tables where there is just a clear chooser, isn't there?
Yeah. I don't know. Have you seen the peacock puzzle?
No.
No, I was going to say, I don't think Marina's seen it. And she would probably be like, oh, that's beautiful. Let's do that. And I'd be like, hell no.
Yeah. God. All right. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for making all the effort to come along and puzzle and keep up. Michelle, did you have any more questions for Hannah and Marina?
Yeah, so as a pair, like just looking forward to the finals, what would be your perfect puzzle that would come out of the bag that would
Ooh.
have your both of your skills represented?
Actually, I was thinking about this today,
Mhm.
and you might say something different, but I thought Hannah's the best at like really busy puzzles, and I'm not very good at that. But if there was a busy puzzle, but there's some sort of block of color where I can just go away and do that, I think that would be us at our peak. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that.
Yeah.
This is our first time doing 1,000 pieces together, this puzzle here. So we haven't really trialed that before either, but it seemed fine.
Yeah.
It was a fine step up from 500. So
So something like a busy city scene with a sky that you could go and quietly get on and plow a bit of grey, not with a
Probably.
nice sky, a nice sky.
yeah.
And you could Hannah could plow through the city.
I mean, I loved the Valladolid puzzle from last year. I thought that was a brilliant puzzle, and I think that'd probably be enough. I don't know if you've done that or not.
No, I
there's
haven't done
enough block in it that I think Marina would be very happy.
Yeah.
But I loved that puzzle.
It's a lovely puzzle. I think it's got a very warm place in a lot of our hearts as well.
Yeah, it was fun.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Marina, I'd also love to know, how did you get into speed puzzling? Is it because of Hannah, or did you come through another way?
Oh yeah, it's all Hannah. I've always been a puzzler, but you know, hearing Hannah go to these competitions and she was just smashing it. And so one day I just got down and I was like, right, like let me time this. And it was over 2 hours or something for a 500.
Which is still not bad.
Yeah, no, not bad. But since then it's been just fun to like see that number go down. And yeah, that's how I got into it.
So you were inspired by her stories of these competitions and the exciting things that happened.
Definitely.
Traveling.
Have you got your Aussie shirt? Have you got your Aussie shirt,
well.
Marina?
Hey?
Have you got your Aussie shirt?
I do. Yeah, that arrived a couple months ago. I'm very excited.
Well, the previous years, the Australians have been the best dressed, like the most cohesive team country there. I did see that last year a few more countries, like for the world record attempt, did actually all get like team shirts printed, and I'm happy to say the New Zealanders now have like a team shirt as well. So
That's so good.
yeah, we were very impressed with the Australians. We're like, well, we need one as well. So I think at the world record attempt, you're going to see a lot of like color blocks of like everyone having matching shirts. But yeah, the Aussies did it first, so you get the credit.
It's very easy to spot one another, which is handy. You don't have to actually pay too much attention to what they look like. Just look for the colors.
Yeah.
I still can't get my head around how they're going to do the world record thing.
Neither. I have no idea. I'm going to wait till I find out.
400 100-piece puzzles or something, isn't it?
Oh, they broke up into small amounts.
It's so
Yeah,
weird.
okay.
Yeah, because it's
But
40,
someone's
they
done it
said
and then broken
it's 40,000 piece puzzle and there's 400 participants. So yeah, it must be like 100 pieces. I have heard of another competition that they did with Ravensburger, but not 40,000. They had it was sponsored by like a building or a museum where they had a puzzle of that museum, and then everybody came and they got like a little bag of pieces and everybody did that piece, and then there was even like a layout, and they knew, okay, this is section 235, and then you went and placed that on section 235 and connected it. So that's what I'm imagining, but then I'm also imagining 400 people like passing things on and like trying to pass each other and get around the tables, and I think it's going to be madness.
Oh, I'm
I
glad,
think it will definitely be madness. Yeah.
I'm
I
glad
guess
I'm not getting there till Wednesday.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing it or not, but I think we're have you signed up?
I'm not going to be there for that. No.
Yeah, okay. I think we're doing the one with like the countries doing their face off. Like I think I'm doing that, but we'll see what's happening with the Guinness World Record one.
Yeah. The later one is with the 1,500 pieces.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Hannah, Marina. I'm glad you joined us anyway, even though there was a problem with the later time zone. And yeah, good luck with your travels.
No, thank you so much. Thank you for having us on and inviting us along.
It was so fun. Thank you so much.
We'll see you in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye. Yeah, that's awesome. So we're at 2 hours and 29 minutes, just coming up to 2.5 hours, and we have 71 finishes so far. We still have Paulina. Oh, Paulina's just done.
Yeah, we've got a
Paulina
few
and
people
Dominica, congratulations.
coming to the end now, haven't we? It's
Good job.
let's see.
Yeah, we also have Maria and Karen working on the Puzzle of Dreams, Aijalyn and Franco also on the Puzzle of Dreams, and Marie and Thomas as well. But yeah, I think everyone has a really good chance of finishing. We still have half an hour. So yeah, how about let's have a look back at some of the answers to the question. And this was a question that you came up with after listening to the podcast, because you like the amount of the team synergy and the way the skills complement each other. So the question again was, when choosing a pairs partner, which skills are you looking for to complement you the best? We got about halfway through.
We got down to Jodie. I think we hadn't done. Have we done Jodie's? I don't think we've done Jodie's. Jodie Parker's.
Yes.
We've done Jana before.
That's true. I did it in alphabetical order. We got up to J. So Jodie says, somebody who looks at the box and can place islands. Graham and I puzzle differently, but have great synergy. So she looks at the box. No, Graham looks at the box and he can place islands.
Yeah. The islands thing came up in teams last year. We were talking about. So I had that role. I'm quite good at getting an island of pieces and putting it exactly where it goes. So that was sort of one of my jobs last year. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So it sounds that they work together very well because they both have different strengths, and they're usually pairs partner. They're also going to be pairs at World as well. Sometimes Graham puzzles with Aaron, but today Aaron was with his World's pair as well. Jonas just says he's happy to puzzle with his girlfriend. Very nice. And Karina said, in return, no specific skills necessary, just my boyfriend. So yeah, it's also just so for some peers it's just a way to spend time together, just like they might play a board game together or watch a film together. But yeah, why not do a puzzle competition together? Kinga from Poland says, well, mostly I'm in pairs with my husband, so the one and only skill here is being around when needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something we do see a lot in pairs. We do see a lot of people who just come in just for pairs, although I know that Pavel also participates in team events as well. He was also in Trier. But yeah, so when we have pairs competitions, we often see a lot of kids participating with their mums or their dads, and also partners as well. So Leah replied, she looks for flexibility and positive attitude. I've had many different pairs partners. Today I'm puzzling with a new one. We've only done one puzzle together before. So how is it for you, James, having a new pair? Have you, because you're usually puzzled together with Kasha, but she's not coming. Have you had a chance to puzzle together?
We did. We had a sort of boot camp one weekend, but before that, I set up a questionnaire where you had to answer. We both had to honestly answer what we thought we were strong at and run through. So there was different sort of things, so we could get a bit of an idea about who was going to do what. Which I could read the things out for if you like. There's about 12 of them, so we've got a few minutes, haven't we? So you had to basically rate yourself 0 to 10 on whether this was your strong suit or not. So the first one was identifying whether a puzzle is a fast design. So that was for that. And then flipping and sorting, edge, sorting the piece pile into main areas, large gradient areas, big feature items such as a cat or something in the middle of the puzzle, large plain areas, either shape sorting or by piece recognition, solving allocated detail areas of 30 to 50 pieces, dead reckoning or pick and place, whatever you want to call it, individual pieces. The same thing for clumps of islands of 10 to 30 pieces. Working without the image, working upside down, and then the last one was rapidly finishing the last 30 pieces. Because again, that was more for teams. I think there's a thing in teams where you can almost get too many hands getting stuck onto the last few pieces. Sometimes it's good if one or two of you just sort of stand back a little bit, I think, and let the strong people do that. So we did that, and in fact, we've got some things that we're good matches on, but we've also with myself and Hannah, we've got one or two things that we both like doing. So, but that was really good to actually practice together, because things like how we were with regards to the picture, we had to sort of work out who was going to do what, and we've slightly changed that around now. So we've done that, what we were talking about earlier on in the call, that business where regardless of the puzzle image, we go portrait between the two of us, and then we work with the image, the orientation round on the side of that. So you've always got a side view of the view that you've got at the bottom of your, at the bottom of nearest you, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So the box nearest you is the bottom that's nearest you.
Okay.
So it's always portrait, and it's always that way around. So so that seems to work out quite well. Yeah. So we definitely benefited from having one session together of working out who was better at what. And we'll see.
Makes me think almost of like a speed dating questionnaire for pairs. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
quick fire. How good are you at this, at this, at this? Okay, oh,
Yeah,
I don't think we're compatible. Okay, next.
Yeah, it sort of it does, if you do it with your team, it at least lets you work out who's the most sort of grandiose thinker as well, which is almost always me. Because despite the fact I'm very ordinary, I'll think I'm quite good at some things, you know.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that sounds fun. And so you had the same questionnaire for your pair and for your team.
And the team, because I'm also in a new team as well. So sadly, Nia, who was on the call, can't now come to Worlds. So there's a gap came up in the team she was in, and I only decided I was going to come to Worlds fairly late. So was looking around for both the pair and the team. So so that's a team with Abby, Lawrence, Annika, and Helen Savin. So that should be that. We were at the Dice Cup meeting in Nottingham a few weeks back, and we had one go at puzzling together. So we've only done literally one 1,000-piece puzzle as a team. So we might be actually doing the opposite of what the Aussies were saying they're doing. We might well be doing some practice puzzling in the gap.
Well, you do see a lot of
in Verdley.
You do see a lot of practice puzzling going on. I mean, I was at a hotel that was full of puzzles. Well, we were at the same hotel last year, but there were a lot of puzzles, because I remember I would be eating breakfast, and there were already teams at the other tables of the dining room that weren't set up for breakfast. They had already claimed those for puzzle practice. There was also people practicing like in the restaurants and cafes and outside. So I think for many teams who are more international or come from different areas, that they would have, that will be their first opportunity. They want to get that practice in, whereas others who've already done their team trainings and had their training weekends, they are giving themselves a break. For my team, by the time we meet in Valladolid, we would have had 3 training sessions already. So and we're all arriving at different times, and the other 3 all have their partners there. So they also want to spend some time looking around and spending some time in Madrid. So we just decided we're not going to, at this point, it's not on our agenda to do a team practice. We're just going to arrive and go for it.
I don't think we've got anything firmly scheduled in, and I've got a feeling that things may overtake us with regards to just being involved. But there's a will to try and do some practice.
Yeah, let's see what some of the other participants wrote. So Leah W says, the pairs partner I've had from the beginning, Laura, compliments me very well. She is just a little bit better than me, pushing me to always do better, and then she likes and is good at all the things I don't. It's awesome.
Oh, that's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah. Liana says, having someone that's ambitious and harmonious is what she looks for. Lydia looks for empathy. Lynn Schiffman says having the same goals is important, otherwise it gets frustrating for both. Same goals. Yeah. So I think for pairs, I mean, there are some pairs that, you know, they do want to do well, they want to be competitive and are willing to maybe put in more team practice, or maybe practice together on a video call or something like that, like put in that extra training and effort to get a better placement. Whereas other people, they just want to have fun and turn up there and give it their best shot on the day. So yeah, also I remember when Victor first told us about his pairs partner, Natalia, he said that he definitely wanted someone who was competitive and was also willing to put in the effort to train and to get as good as they could. And yeah, he definitely found that in Natalia, and they also have different skills. So yeah, that's also something, is like, how ambitious is the other person? Because maybe if the other person is way more ambitious, you might feel that you are dragging them down a bit or not putting in as much into the training. So Maria TV, she says, honestly, I think the most important thing is that we both have fun and enjoy the experience. I would much rather puzzle with a good friend and share laughs, even if our skills don't completely complement each other. If taking the competitive side into account, I do think a willingness to learn and try new strategies is important to develop and grow our skills as a team.
Yeah, I think that's really true. I think there's that thing with puzzle improvement, is that you have that sort of gradual improvement, but to make the sort of step changes, you just sometimes have to not do the things you've been doing for ages and just try something different. And, that can then sometimes, pull you along a little bit, can't it?
Yeah. So Mara Accio puzzle. My pairs partner is a better speed puzzler than me, so she generally inspires me to be faster just by puzzling together. She's also a great motivator, encourages me and celebrates my progress, and doesn't mind that I'm slower because we have such a fun time together. I love puzzling with her because though we are both quite competitive and want to do our best, we both feel like the most important thing is to enjoy it and have a good time. And also she's great at complimenting me. Yeah, so that's good if you have someone who's very encouraging and encourages you to do your best and believes in you. That also just can give you an extra boost.
Yeah, and I resonate with the working with a better speed puzzler than you as well.
It makes you feel faster.
Yes. It goes back to the 25 pieces per minute ideal.
Yeah. Well, Marie and Thomas are about to finish. This is looking really good. They've just got about 10 to 15 pieces left, and just a couple of little gaps here and there to fill in. So here, I guess they'll be mostly looking at the background color. They've done all the text and all the characters, so it's just finding the matching color background.
We're at that difficult stage now, isn't it, where you've got the speed of getting to the end and it becoming in many ways easier because you get to the end, but also people have been puzzling for 2 hours 40 minutes, and that's a long sesh.
Yeah.
That's exhausting.
Well done, Marie and Thomas. Congratulations.
Well done. Brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's already a long time to be puzzling, so I'm sure pairs are getting tired, but we still have 18 minutes to go. So yeah, keep on going, Maria and Karen. Do your best. Yeah, you've made some great progress there, and yeah, it looks like they're now looking for text patches, black and white text. Yeah, maybe collect all the leftover text areas and then try and join them up. Yes, so we also had Olivia. She says, I'm really bad at sorting, so it's really nice when my pairs partner was great at that. Yeah, are you a sorter, James?
Cash is a terrific sorter, so I will always defer to Kasha. But the Dice Cup competition we did was with Scarlet Sky, who does YouTube videos. And she doesn't like sorting, so I actually did do the sorting that time, and I actually think I did all right.
Yeah, well, in my team, like I hate sorting, and I hate flipping, and I hate sorting. But in my team, because I'm statistically the slowest, I am the one who does most of the flipping, because one peels off to do the border, one peels off to do the sky, and then Fruji and I are left to do the to finish the flipping, and then to do like the main sorting. Like if somebody's already doing the sky, then we grab the sky to them, and then we sort something for Fuji out, and then Fuji peels off and does that, and I'm left with the rest to sort out onto the trays. So I'm getting better at it. I think it was really interesting listening to the podcast because hearing how Rihanna does it and seeing herself as a project manager. Yeah, maybe it's just nice to have a title. Then I feel a bit more important rather than the slowest person ends up doing the sorting.
I would be a lot better at sorting if all puzzle tables were at about 1 meter, 1 meter 20 off the ground, because I've only got a certain amount of time with the ones that are down around my knees of being able to do standing. So I can I know I have to sit down, and I just think it's like sorting's like DJing. It's an activity that's best done standing up, you know. So
yeah, that's true. You have to see the bigger picture, and then you have to be pulling out from all the areas. But I do see the importance of it, and I do want to. We've got one more training coming up next weekend, so I really want to focus on that on the Sunday. How I can better set my teammates up that they can just be puzzling, and as soon as they've finished one section, they've got the next one ready to go. I think I have to fight this inner feeling like, well, I want to puzzle too, but I think it's more important to, of course I will end up puzzling at some point. But to be able to set up your teammates for success, and then when everything is ready, when all the boards are piled up, most sorting has been done, then I can start puzzling myself, and then always keeping an eye out on the others that when they're ready to finish, that they have the next thing to go. So Teresa also mentioned sorting. So what she looks for in a pairs partner: sorting and better orientation. Those are my weaknesses. The most important is my partner has to be fun, and we have to understand each other on a human level. And if they can also help me to calm down, it's ideal.
Yeah, I think they've got that right, those two.
Yeah, I think they've got a good complementary.
They've got a bit
both on the personality level and on the skills.
Yeah, wonderful. Anyway.
Yeah, Taya says that my pair is very good with skies and blurry areas that I struggle with the most. Yeah, no, I think if I had to choose somebody, a skill to be on my pair, someone who's good at skies and sections would be the main thing for me. Because I've puzzled at home with my daughter, and I've puzzled with a couple of different people on different occasions. And this year at Worlds, I have a pair, but we haven't puzzled together. She's from New Zealand, so we're basically going to just meet up, and we're both there on the Sunday, so maybe we do a puzzle or two together on the Sunday. So I haven't even had the conversation with her yet about what her skills are and what we should do, but it's probably something I should do. I should probably send her your template and or at least a few questions and say, what things do you think you're good at, and how can we work together?
Yeah. Yes, I can ping it to you.
A few questions to get the conversation going rather than just showing up. We've been more concerned about getting our outfits ready. I have to say she's got quite a fabulous outfit prepared, and I was able to get the same fabric from her tailored. So she got an outfit made. I was able to get the same fabric, so I also got a skirt for me made. So up until now, our only conversation has been about what we're wearing, but I think the conversation should also move to about how we puzzle.
How you're going to puzzle. You'll be fine.
Yes. We had another few answers. Sophie likes someone who can sort and is good with skies and gradients. Well, I know that Aaron likes skies, so maybe she hit the jackpot there.
Yeah, but also she has to put up with Aaron's nonsense, as was the first comment.
And she has to have low standards too. Yes. And she's available, so I think they're both. It's a win-win situation there.
Yes.
So Valentina says, for pairs, I like to remove the competitive aspect and just have fun. The most important skill is to have someone I can enjoy the moment with. Usually it's my boyfriend, but today I've invited a friend to try it out. So yeah, that's good. Expanding the range of possible puzzlers. Vicky says, it's the best if my partner is good with sections with only one color, such as sky and grass, because I'm not good with them. also, unfortunately, I need the picture a lot, so I should be closer to it. Yeah, so that's something we know from Vicky, that she always likes to look at the box. She looks at the details. She does the pick and place. She picks up a piece. She wants to know exactly where it goes. And so, yeah, for her, she also needs someone to do the larger sections.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a really interesting range, isn't it? That Sky seems to come up a little bit. There's obviously our groups who are just not super Sky fans, who just like someone else to take that on. And they often are the sort of gradienty people, aren't they? I mean, I'm not a big gradient fan. I'm trying to get better, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm really, that's my weakness. I really need to do more Sky before Worlds. So I have a stack of puzzles to do, quite a lot, and I'm kind of mixing them up with a hard puzzle and an easier puzzle. Like if there's a busy puzzle, I think I'm going to get under an hour with it. Then I kind of squeeze it in between the landscape pictures. And then I also wanted to go back and do a couple of the landscape images from last year that really struggled with. One was the pink thunderstorm with the lightning going across the sky.
Yeah.
I was so stuck on that.
We had that in our heat.
Oh.
Yeah, that was not fun, dark and miserable. I mean, it's interesting because almost any sort of contact you have with the puzzling community, you sort of learn something. You learn something almost every time. And I was watching some of the videos from recent EJJs and watching Alejandro go to Sky and then turn his puzzle round so the Sky was near him. And I'd never thought of that. I literally saw that this morning because I was going back looking at the finishes of the last few, and I watched him turn the puzzle around. I thought, oh, yeah, that's really sensible. I should do that.
Yeah, I remember watching the World's Final. That was the one in 23 when it was the Italian image with all the chairs and tables in the foreground.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, there's one lady, she's doing her puzzle upside down. And I couldn't understand why. Like, why would you do a puzzle upside down? I just didn't get it. At that stage, I was like, why would you turn your puzzle upside down? Why would you do the sky and the rooftops from that position? And I think she completed the whole, the top half of the puzzle upside down and then finally rotated it towards the end, but I just didn't get it. And now, having seen so many people rotate at certain times when they're on their last section, or like they're doing a round puzzle and there's like little gaps here and there, just to rotate it to fill in those 3 gaps and then rotate it again to fill in the others, rather than kind of looking over the whole image. Yeah, that is something that I have also thought about. Yeah, so at some point it would make sense to rotate, but I don't think if you have a single table, but if you're sharing a table, I don't think there is enough room to rotate your built puzzle quite so well without like getting pieces on the floor.
I might have a go. The board we practice on is the size of the top of the world tables, so I might give that a little go later on.
Well, one thing I've noticed, a few people have said that they like to puzzle always in the landscape orientation, even if it's a portrait image. One, because some people have shorter arms and they don't want to be reaching over to the other side of the table as a portrait image gets quite long. So they're always, and so they kind of always switch the image in their mind. They might also switch the box. Or if they're in a wheelchair, or if they have an injury or something where or just out of a preference that they only puzzle sitting down, they never get out of their seat. I do know someone like that. They only puzzle sitting down, and they just, they don't want to be reaching over to the other side of the table. So regardless of the image, if it's like this, they just always turn it sideways, and that's how they puzzle. So yeah, there are different reasons why someone might rotate an image.
Yeah, no, I might give that a go. I think that if that will fit, but I think you'll be right. I think it's that the diagonal of a 500 is going to be pretty well the width of a standard competition table. So yeah, it might be harder to do in competition.
I just remember my table being quite crowded with a box holder and a water bottle and
and your name. That's that additional thing. Is it that I remember thinking, I've got to calculate for that extra slight loss of table area because you've got to have your your
Table
name
sign.
holder on the your name sign on, which you're absolutely not allowed to sort of just quietly lose onto the floor. Yeah, space management becomes all important.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you're not doing individuals this year?
No,
You're
I
arriving
can't,
later.
I can't get out until I can't travel until the Wednesday. So whereas before we've done it as a sort of like holiday week, and we've done a couple of days in Madrid and then got there for the opening ceremony and all that sort of stuff, and taken a few days traveling. I'm literally leaving here on the morning and doing to Valladolid in one day, and then we'll be hopefully there from. I think my train gets in sort of late afternoon on Wednesday. So, and then we go from there. But mainly going for the fun this year.
And to support the British.
Yeah. No, I felt. I mean, Cash and I felt that we took care of a lot of the outstanding business last year, which was lovely actually, and feels super content about last year. So that was a little bit about why we were wondering if we were going to go or not, or whether I was going to go or not, because I knew Kasha wasn't going to be going. But no, I think it's drawn me back. It's really the love of the puzzle community has drawn me back.
Yeah, and it's also growing in the UK. You had a successful nationals.
Yeah, and I think because I'm involved with the UK JPA, again, I think that's that role as well. So I think it became almost a non-choice, really. But yeah, but unfortunately, I can't get there until Wednesday. So.
Yeah. So would you have chosen the Puzzle of Dreams or the Falcon? What was your gut feeling on this one?
Oh, I 100% would have gone for Puzzle of Dreams. I don't think Kasha would have. I think Kasha might have gone for the other one, partly because she hates puzzles with words. But I think and she likes Sky. So I think we may have ended up, if we were doing this as a pair, doing the other one. But yeah, no, I like that Puzzle of Dreams. I think that's a nice puzzle. It looks fun to do. It looks almost like it'd be fun to do either as a speed puzzle or just as a leisure puzzle.
I think with a casual puzzle you can appreciate it more because you do have a lot of the text. Like you can't really take in all the little affirmations when it's just like, okay, where does this go? It's a black speech bubble. It's got a green background. Okay. Yeah. There it goes. Yeah, you do want to take your time afterwards to enjoy some of the just to take it all in. There was a little bit of text on the background about the artist, so I'll just read that out. Katie Abbey's work provides illustrative doses of happiness and motivation, along with a little dash of sarcasm. She is a big lover of animals, and her work often features creatures looking slightly nonchalant, perturbed, or even a bit deranged. The creatures in the Puzzle of Dreams want you to dream big and achieve your goals. So,
so we're nearly approaching time, aren't we? We're
yeah, so we have just coming up to 2 minutes to go. So yeah, hoping Maria and Karen can find fill in a few more gaps. So go.
They look pretty close, but
well, SJ says that Dan is the sky guy, which is a bit sad because sometimes she wants to do the sky.
I never want to do this, Sky.
No, I just hope I don't get 2 images of in the individual round, both with skies. Because in the teams rounds, it's fine. Like Caro does. She's our sky specialist. But yeah, I think when looking at skies, like if you have 2 images with sky and you have to choose in them between them, it's about the gradient. Yeah, it's one just like a block, because like in some of the garden 1000 piece puzzles last year in the teams event, they had some were just like a block of blue sky and had to pretty much be shape sorted the whole thing. And there were other skies that had a gradient. So yeah, definitely choosing a sky with a gradient will go quicker than a block sky.
Yeah. No, I do think there's going to be some real oohs when people take the puzzles out and they do see a peacock or whatever else. Yeah, and then it's going to be a real hubbub of I'll do this one. you're wrong.
Yeah, so maybe I'll take Rihanna's advice and just take a few moments to look at the images and take it all in and not be like, or just grab one and start quickly. I like what Nathan said about better to be fast doing the right thing than better to be slow at the beginning, but then do the right thing rather than being fast at the wrong thing. I think that's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah, that was fun having a chat with all three of them. What's the dog?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we're coming up to the last 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Time is up. Well done, Maria and Karen, for puzzling for 3 hours. 3 hours. Wow. You deserve a break. And yeah, well, look at that. There's not that many gaps left over. So yeah, please go ahead and count the leftover pieces, and you can actually put that into the app. There is a, it does say time is up, and there's a little field to put your leftover pieces. That will go straight through to our system as well. That we have all the, results in one place. Yeah, so we hope that there'll be 2 fun puzzles like this turning up at the World, more than 2. When it comes to our own time. As you say, I think that's going to be the big theme of the event. And yeah, making choices.
Yeah, it's been good to explore it a little bit here, actually, because I've been having this dialogue with myself.
Better you have the dialogue with us.
Good therapy for me, Michelle. It's been great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your perspective, and also, asking the Aussie All-Stars how they see that. Yeah, it's a new experience for everybody in the individual rounds and the preliminaries. I'm just hoping to get through to the semi-finals, and then if I get to the semi-finals, I'm just hoping it's a busy puzzle, a busy illustration, but hoping it's not going to get me anywhere.
Yeah,
just gotta do the thing on the day with whatever you get.
Yes, I think for the smaller group, I mean, I think for individuals and for pairs, it'll be harder because it'll be taken harder because I think you own that decision yourself. Whereas with the team, you make that decision as a team, don't you? It's so I'm interested to see how we go. Anyway, I'll be following the live stream avidly for the individuals and seeing the first few rounds of that. Hopefully, ticking off puzzles that may not then come up in pairs. And
process of elimination.
Yeah. And then seeing you all once we get going for the Wednesday.
Yeah. So we did receive the time. Yeah. So Maria and Karen put in the pieces. They only had 115 pieces left, so that would have gone really quickly. Well, maybe they'll have a break for lunch and they can finish it off later. They were pretty close. So thanks so much, James, for joining me. It's been really fun, and look forward to seeing you in the Dome in a few weeks.
Yeah. No, a pleasure as always, Michelle. Always love coming and doing these. So look forward to seeing you in Valladolid.
Okay. Yes, and thanks to SJ and all the commentators and viewers today.
And listening to you. And listening to you. If I'm going to be on the live feed.
Yes, you will see me.
Yeah, seeing and listening to you. Yeah, great.
All right, thanks you. Have a great Sunday, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.